In the Big Sky, grit meets glory, and greatness grows in the glare of the game day glow. The games we remember are played in November, and the path to the Big Sky title runs through Montana State, UC Davis, and Montana. Three powerhouses pounding toward pride. This afternoon in Bozeman, the Bobcats battle the Wildcats, chasing their shot at the summit. Because true champions aren't born in comfort, they're created in chaos, crafted under the crushing heat of the spotlight. Scripps Saturday Showdown is next. Title amps up even more as fans of the number 3 team in the land welcome Montana State back to Bozeman after almost a month away, taking on Weber State, and today donning brand new uniforms for Military Appreciation Day. Definitely a great way to honor those who have served. Hi again, everyone. Ben Creighton, the former DC, Ty Gregorak, Grace Lawrence also coming up in just a couple minutes. And Ty, you said it perfectly last week when we were in Greeley. This is the best era of Bobcat football. Whether it was the days of Tommy Millard or even present day when you have a plethora of playmakers on both sides of the ball, Brent Vigen continues to build a monster here in Bozeman.
Well, he has, and Choate created it, and he's just putting his stamp on it. And when I say that, it has been a dominant era of Bobcat football. The only thing missing is a national championship, So that guy right there has been incredible. I mean, they don't lose at home. He's perfect against unranked FCS foes 34-0. He's been incredible. But this group right here, Ben, I mean, the secondary coaches, Brian Shepard and Trenton Green, man, they are doing a heck of a job with these guys. In FCS, it is hard to find the trifecta of length, speed, and the willingness to go hit and tackle. And for being one of the biggest question marks coming into the season, I think they've answered the call.
Yeah, a lot of doubts coming into this season for a young secondary group. But Brent Vigen has even said this is a strong defense, a strong secondary, really built on speed, and they have just been lights out this season. But offensively, you need a strong quarterback to help lead the way, and Justin Lamson coming off a career performance against Northern Colorado.
He's been awesome. I mean, for him to go 330 plus, 3 touchdowns in the air and 1 on the ground last week, I thought he should have been the Big Sky Player of the Week. He wasn't named it, but whatever. It was almost a flawless performance. Here's my favorite statistic about Lamson, though, Ben. In Big Sky play, 13 touchdown passes, 0. I repeat, 0 interceptions.
Getting it done and can make a wide variety of throws. Now, when we talk about this Weber State team, man, they are injury-ridden. There are so many X's on my spotting boards, especially offensively. I mean, it's been a tough hand that has been dealt to this Weber State offense and team overall.
Yeah, no question. It's just one of those years, man. I mean, bad luck and a tough pill to swallow if you're Weber State and Coach Mantle, because they've just got a ton of dudes down. And then we're going to take a look at the quarterbacks here. I tell you, these guys, it sounds like from Coach Mantle, they're both going to play. That being said, their combined completion percentage only about 55%. They need to be sharp today, Ben, against one of the best defenses in the country.
Yeah, 2 quarterbacks, really 2 different styles. You look at the freshman in Tisdale, kind of more of a pocket passer, a lot more poise in the pocket. But like Brent Vigen raves every single week, you got to keep a 1-0 mentality, especially when we get to November. And for much more on that, we send it down to the third member of our crew, and Grace Lawrence. Hi, Grace.
Yes, hi guys. You guys started the show with it. These teams have been so consistent the past 5 years under Coach Vigen, and it's easy to say, but it's not always easy to carry out. There was a handful of top 10 upsets in the FCS last week. I was able to ask defensive lineman Alec Eckert how the team doesn't let all the outside noise impact them.
They want to know what time the rodeo starts.
Just the going 1-0 mentality. None of that outside noise matters. It's always about us. It's always been about us. We won last week, and there were some shakeups, maybe some teams you thought were going to win that didn't win. That has nothing to do with us. It's about this next week. It's about Weber. It's about pushing this thing forward.
The mindset so elite. Credit goes to Vigen, and it's also about those leaders like Eckert helping instill the mindset with the team, guys.
Yeah, being the day after Halloween, a spooky weekend for sure in the FCS. South Dakota State going down to Indiana State, Davis losing at home to Idaho State. And I remember last year Brent Vigen telling us that the team can't get caught up with how the world perceives of matchups where Montana State are heavy favorites. And I'd imagine that's also the case coming into this game here in the final weeks of the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Vigen has never had a failure in a trap game, Ben. I mean, he's never let every now and then you're like, okay, are they eventually going to slip up? They just haven't. 34-0 against unranked FCS opponents. I mean, he's been awesome, and Weber's going to have to play a very, very good football game to have a chance to win.
Montana State won the toss. They deferred to the second half as the Weber State offense will start from the 25-yard line. So we anxiously await to see who the Wildcats will send out there to start the game at quarterback. Again, you got Dijon Jennings, the junior. You got Kingston Tisdale, who finished that game last week down in Ogden against Montana. But this has been the big key offensively, specifically at that quarterback spot for Weber State. You just look at the injuries. They're down their top 2 quarterbacks, and you got your 3rd string and your 4th string having to take snaps now.
Yep, like I said in the open, just one of those years. I mean, just bad luck almost across the board. And yes, these quarterbacks, I think they're both going to play. They got to be on point, on target, and sharp today. It
will be the freshman Kingston Tisdale getting the start here on this first snap. Tight end set on play action, trying to dump it to his tight end, Noah Benny. Incomplete. As Ty, we take a look at our impact players to watch, sponsored by the Jewelry Design Center for Weber State. Gavin Ortega, great on that O-line for Montana State. I mean, the rumble for a touchdown heard around the FCS last week in Talon Marsh.
Yeah, I put Hitchens on there. He's their leading tackler, a big Mike linebacker. You'll probably call his name a ton today. And then, Talon Marsh had the play of his life last week. And then Ryan King, an unsung hero in my mind for this offense, had a nice day last week, and he's always solid on the perimeter blocking.
They'll go to the ground game. Coulter May, who is anticipated will get the bulk of the carries today. Caden Dowler brings him down for 3rd down. And now our Stockman Bank weather report today. A chilly one here in the Gallatin Valley, 43 degrees. Not complaining, bright sunshine, beautiful view of the Bridgers just beyond the stadium. Couldn't have asked for a better day for November football. As now Weber State faces a 3rd down, where they are 34% this season. Montana State showing 5 on the line. Tisdale straight drop. Lets it rip. Nobody home. Incomplete, as Jaylene Record was the nearest receiver in the area.
Yeah, they brought in the cheetah package, which they usually do on these 3rd and longs. When I say cheetah, that's their 4 defensive ends. Coach Howe has not sent a ton of pressure this year, but they actually brought a little, they were mugging their inside linebackers and then brought them to just give enough pressure that quarterback had to get a little too much air on it.
Well, it's like what you and I talk about all the time. They're not going to rack up the sacks as Montana State D-line, but they get so much pressure as Dane Steele and Taco Dowler are back to return for the Bobcats. Friendly Bobcat bounce, as that will go out of bounds, check up at around the 42-yard line. So after a 3 and out, the Cats offense on the field, and like we talked about at the top of the show, Justin Lamson, what a performance last week in Greeley, and just overall a tremendous get for Brent Vegan to come here out of Stanford. 4th in the FCS, 72% completion percentage. I mean, you talk about being effective as a quarterback.
Yeah, no doubt. And he hasn't thrown an interception now in well over a month, almost 2 months actually. Going back to that punt return, I think that's the first time this year we've seen 2 returners in the backfield there with Taco and Steele.
Trips on the left side. They'll go to the pistol on their first play. Dane Steele motions, as they'll go right up the gut and to the 45-yard line. Getting the carry, it's going to be Adam Jones.
Jones with the run, right up the middle. He's brought down by number 13.
I love these unis, by the way. Everyone out there that has served and is serving, we appreciate you. You guys and gals are savages.
Gain of 3 there for Adam Jones. Right now, the 2nd best rushing attack in the Big Sky. Lamson gets tripped up, and that will be a loss. Now bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, I love what Matt Herron does here, the big junior defensive tackle. He just wreaks havoc. Look at the push he's getting right up front there, Ben. Makes Lamson scramble, and he trips over his own guy.
Because I was going to say, from up here, it was hard to tell whether he might have just tripped over Braden Zimmer or a Weber State defender got to him. But either way, a loss of 5 brings up 3rd down and 12.
Not what Coach Vegan likes either. I mean, again, it's win on 1st down, win on 2nd down, so you don't have these 3rd and longs.
48% on 3rd downs, the top in the Big Sky. Lamson to the air again. Finds open turf, takes off, and swallowed up by a gang of Weber State defenders. That'll bring up fourth down in the Weber State defense, forcing a 3-and-out.
And that's what I'm saying, though, on that second down play where he trips and stumbles to get a negative yardage play. I mean, that 3rd and 12, that most of the time is very favorable for the defense.
Well, that's the start you want if you're Mickey Mental. I mean, you go back a week ago in Ogden, I mean, you couldn't have said like an even worse start for Weber State, fumbling on the first play of the game and then giving up a touchdown to Montana in just the first 70 seconds as a fair catch is called at around the 11-yard line. Defense on display early on here in Bozeman. Still goose eggs on the scoreboard early.
Montana's brand of banking, your Montana Chevy dealers, and the University of Montana. Build your skills the Montana way.
Always a great pregame scene here in Bozeman, and obviously a great atmosphere inside Bobcat Stadium. Again, it's been almost a month since Montana State played in the friendly confines of Bobcat Stadium. But right now, 2 3-and-outs to start this game with the Weber offense back on the field. Coulter May once again getting the call and picks up a couple. And that's what Mickey Mental told us earlier this week in our call with him. You look at May, kind of an old school between the tackles kind of runner. Not really going to wow you with anything, but I mean, he can churn. He's got that big body to pick up a couple yards.
Yes, he does. The big senior out of Hayburn, Idaho. You know, again, you'd love to see an opponent of the Cats do anything on the ground, and just nobody's been able to.
Montana State once again showed 5. Cole Taylor will sag off. And Weber State did a good job of this last week against Montana, getting them to jump off sides. On 2nd and 9, play action. The dump off Kelton Wafer, the freshman. Dropped pretty quickly.
All starts with Taden Gray right here. He does a great job. They win a bunch formation into the sideline here. Watch number 7 right there, just slippery under the block. Great job by him creating the play, essentially making the tackle. He did make the tackle. Great play by Big Play Tay.
Came in with 30 tackles on the season. And now another 3rd down, this time from 8.
See, this is what I'm talking about here, Ben. You're going to have all these dudes. These are all defensive ends, and with the linebackers in the mug look.
And Caden Dowler comes in as well. Hit immediately, incomplete, way too tall for the 6'4" Benny.
Yeah, it's Caden Dowler. You're going to see it on the replay here. They're bringing a free safety pressure here. I used to call this a freak blitz. So again, they walked everybody up, and you see Caden Dowler right there, and then Bryce Grebe. You know, you got 2-on-1 there in the backfield. Bryce Grebe delivers a great shot. And we're going to see the 2 punt return look again here, Ben.
Yeah, again, Dane Steele and Taco Dowler back to return. That 3rd down defense for Montana State, again, so effective. And picked up by Steele.
Yeah, Steele's got to be careful there, Ben. I'm sorry to interrupt you. You got to be on Peter, get away from the ball. They're lucky there.
I was going to say, there was a little bit of a collective gasp, I should say, here at Bobcat Stadium. Bobcat offense looking to get going.
What financial challenge?
Team.
Ourselves apart from our peers as an untraveled road lies ahead. We are the Big Sky Conference, where experience is elevated.
Welcome back in. It's a scoreless game so far in Bozeman. It's also the military appreciation game for Montana State. I mean, look at these jerseys. They're actually going to auction them off after the game. All the money's going to go to Big Sky Bravery, which is a nonprofit they partner with that serves active duty military. Coach Brent Vigen stressed it's important more than anything to shine the spotlight on this organization because of the great work they do in this community, guys.
On the slant, incomplete, trying to complete it to Taco Dowler. And yeah, such a great foundation, great organization that Brent Vigen and this Montana State program have been affiliated with the last couple of years. You and I, anytime that we can hype our veterans and those who serve we take every single opportunity to do that.
Absolutely, and the program she's talking about, Big Sky Bravery, Josh and company, they all do such a great job for not just vets, but active military guys, first responders. It's incredible.
Julius Davis gets tripped up. With Montana State going to 12 personnel, and they'll be about 3 yards short of the line to gain to bring up third down.
Yeah, both backs have been very productive this year. I mean, kind of a quiet year in terms of what Montana State fans have been used to running the football. They just kind of take turns each week, Ben, and both play a ton.
Well, it just shows how complimentary this offense has become here in 2025. Taco Dowler on the sweep, trying to turn the corner, gets the edge, and gets escorted out of bounds as he picks up a first down for Montana State, our first down of the afternoon. Fans, make sure to show off your team spirits. Send us your best Superfan photos, and you can see yourself on the big screen today. Here's how you join in. Just scan the QR code on your screen and upload your favorite fan shots. We'll pick some of them coming up later on in the game. Good luck, and let's see those amazing fan moments. Whether you're here in Bozeman or in the state of Montana, or watching down in Ogden in the state of Utah. New set of downs. Play fake on the dump to Adam Jones. Able to stay on his feet. And picks up another first down for Montana State.
And you're going to see the tight ends. I mean, this group up top here now, they've been great too. I was talking about the DBs, really answering the call in terms of a kind of a question mark this year. I love the way the tight ends are doing things, both blocking and catching. Good job by Lamson just getting the dump off there to our guy from Missoula.
And we got whistles before the snap. False start.
False start. Offense, number 86. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Hunter Province, the guilty party.
Show the tight ends a little love, and then they get a penalty. And that's something, where the first part of the season, Montana State was so sharp in terms of the penalty category. They've kind of been slipping a little bit, and I don't think Coach Vegan is going to allow for much more of that baloney, Ben.
They were excellent. Averaged 3 penalties in the first 5 games, 8 in the last 4. Lamson underneath Dane Steele, knifing right through the defenders past the 20.
It's a really good job by Steele here, just fighting for that extra yak, Ben. That yards after contact, yards after catch. Good job by him getting it to second and mid.
Sione Halla, the transfer out of Boston College, able to bring him down. And Montana State now in the AVA red zone, second in the Big Sky, 92%. To the ground game once again. Not much there for Adam Jones. Keonis Thompson, the D end, wraps him up. And you talk about fast starts for Montana State. I mean, that's effective. 65-34 in the first quarter.
Yeah, it's a heck of a way to start. There's no question about it. First couple series, a little slow on both sides, and get the ball on your own side of the field, and now they're going to try to do something with it.
2 tight ends set again. Lamson just threads the needle. He gets it to another tight end. This time in Ryland Schlepp, and moves the chains again.
Yeah, just a little spot route here by Schlepp. You're going to see it right in the middle. And this is a nice job by Lamson, because he's getting pressure right here. A little play action boot here. Right there. He needed to get the ball out. Nice job by him. You see the pressure coming off the edge there. Good job by Justin Lamson getting the ball out.
Three for 4 so far through the air for Justin Lamson. Trips on the far side again for Montana State. Looks for the end zone. Incomplete, batted away. Great defense right there. Logan Mackey able to knock it away.
This is a great job by Mackey, because he was open. Lamson kind of just needed to sling it a little bit faster. Used to call it like a ding 7 route here, where you're going to have a slant by the outside receiver and then a corner by the slot receiver. And good job by him, just right at the last second getting the ball out.
Intended for Taco Dowler. The sophomore cornerback out of Houston. 2 tight ends in the game again. Julius Davis slashing right through and getting past the 5. Halla once again with the wrap up.
You you can see both tight ends coming back. It was kind of a split zone look right there. Those tight ends are coming back, and then Julius Davis just takes it vertical. You can see his statistics on the year. I mean, again, this. I talk about it being one of the best eras of Montana State. It's also a different era because they got a quarterback that's a heck of a player, and they're just not running the football at the same clip. But you don't need to when you got 330 plus in the air last week.
Brent Vegan was racing down the sideline to get a timeout in. We'll take it 2. Bobcats knocking on the door here in the first quarter.
And the best-selling second best. Bill.
Your credit union. We are RMC.
Pretty decent here at Montana State. Well, no question, the rodeo team, they're pretty decent here at Montana State, getting some love here in the first quarter. I mean, one of my favorite parts of every Bobcat game, seeing the horses run out on the field. Again, a great atmosphere as the Bobcats in the red zone. Facing 3rd down at the 5.
Got an unbalanced formation here.
Taco Dollar motions. Lamson easily gets in. Touchdown, Montana State.
I love the play call here. You got an unbalanced formation, big formation. You're thinking maybe split zone, going back to all those dudes over there. They send Taco motion and fly. Justin Lamson reads it perfectly. Touchdown, Cats.
Rushing TD number 7 on the year for QB1. Just so versatile in that Cats offense. As Miles Sandstead tacks on the PAT. But in that RPO game, Ty, so effective, that Bobcat offense.
Yeah, and you can see right there. I mean, it's just a great play call, great play design by offensive coordinator Pete Sturbick there. You see, all those defenders, those eyes start getting a little wandering, and they're watching one of the best players go in fly motion. And let that guy right there transfer out of Stanford, do his thing. He's having a great year.
Well, you even mentioned earlier just how complimentary this offense has become. Adam Jones said earlier this week on their Bobcat Insider TV show, I have no idea how a defense prepares for this offense. You don't know what guy offensively is going to fire off 300 yards through the air or chew up 150 yards on the ground. It's hard to game plan against, and he's 100% correct there.
No doubt, and they're getting such production out of their 3 main personnels, 11, 1 back, 1 tight end, 12. We're seeing a lot of their 2 tight end, and then a lot more 10 personnel than we've seen out of the Cats in a long, long time. And all those personnels are producing.
Ten plays, 47 yards down the field for the Bobcats. A line drive in the end zone after being touched. Yeah, I was going to say, he'll have to take it out of the end zone after he touched it. Down to the 10-yard line.
That's bad ball. That's bad ball right there.
And Montana State's saying they have the football. The ball might have came loose. Just a wacky sequence there.
Yeah, it is. And Coach Mendel's not going to be thrilled about it, nor is the special teams coordinator Skylar Ridley. But yeah, he touches it right here. Referee acknowledges it. And oh boy, Houston, we got a problem. I got to do something with it. Clean that up a scooch there.
Yeah, Robert Young. As he picks it up, he said, oh, I can kneel it, right? Nope, that's going to be a safety. You got to take it out. So now the Weber State offense starts at the 10.
I think it was big Seth Block that might have jarred the ball loose at the end. Obviously, didn't get the football though.
Handoff. Not much going there as we send it back down to Grace Lawrence.
Yes, Ben. The Montana State defensive line has got a nickname. They call themselves the Cold Front. I asked Alec Eckert about it. He said it's a double entendre. It's about the weather in this great state and cold being a word that's used to describe the word tough. Defensive coordinator Sean Howe doubled down on that thought. He said the weather is cold when you play meaningful football in this state, Ben.
Couldn't have said it any better myself. When you're playing these important games in November, getting colder and colder. Yeah, he nailed it. By the way, Spencer Ferguson back in the lineup getting that carry there for Weber State. 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8. Tisdale to the air and zips it. That one complete to Marvin Session. Chase McMillan wraps him up.
Coach Howe's dialing up a little more pressure than we've seen, and I kind of like it. Obviously seen stuff on tape. Bringing the pressure, quarterback's got to get the ball out in a hurry. Good tight coverage there by Chase McMillan.
For 2 on 3rd downs. Tight end motions, play fake on the slant, and that one hauled in. Marvin Session once again with a catch. And Weber State moving the chains for the first time today.
Yeah, coverage was just a little loose on this one because that was a nice throw and catch. Let's see, I mean, right there. I mean, easy peasy on 3rd and short.
Quickly to the line. In a pile, able to move a couple yards. And now word from the Jewelry Design Center.
More choices. We are Jewelry Design Center, and we want to be your jeweler for life. Come see us in Missoula, on Brooks, across from the Montana Club.
I mean, one of my favorite parts of every Bobcat game, seeing the horses run out on the field. Again, a great atmosphere as the Bobcats in the red zone. Facing 3rd down at the 5.
Got an unbalanced formation here.
Taco Dollar motions. Lamson easily gets in. Touchdown, Montana State.
I love the play call here. You got an unbalanced formation, big formation. You're thinking maybe split zone, going back to all those dudes over there. They send taco motion and fly. Justin Lamson reads it perfectly. Touchdown, Cats.
Rushing TD number 7 on the year for QB1. Just so versatile in that Cats offense. As Miles Sandstead tacks on the PAT. But in that RPO game, Ty, so effective, that Bobcat offense.
Yeah, and you can see right there. I mean, it's just a great play call, great play design by offensive coordinator Pete Sturbick there. You see, all those defenders, those eyes start getting a little wandering, and they're watching one of the best players go in fly motion. They let that guy right there transfer out of Stanford, do his thing. He's having a great year.
Well, you even mentioned earlier just how complimentary this offense has become. Adam Jones said earlier this week on their Bobcat Insider TV show, I have no idea how a defense prepares for this offense. You don't know what guy offensively is going to fire off 300 yards through the air or chew up 150 yards on the ground. It's hard to game plan against, and he's 100% correct there.
No doubt, and they're getting such production out of their 3 main personnels, 11, 1 back, 1 tight end, 12. We're seeing a lot of their 2 tight end, and a lot more 10 personnel than we've seen out of the Cats in a long, long time. And all those personnels are producing.
Ten plays, 47 yards down the field for the Bobcats. A line drive in the end zone after being touched. Yeah, I was going to say, he'll have to take it out of the end zone after he touched it. Down to the 10-yard line.
That's bad ball. That's bad ball right there.
And Montana State's saying they have the football. The ball might have came loose. Just a wacky sequence there.
Yeah, it is. And Coach Mendel's not going to be thrilled about it, nor is the special teams coordinator Skylar Ridley. But yeah, he touches it right here. Referee acknowledges it. And oh boy, Houston, we got a problem. I got to do something with it. Clean that up a scooch there.
Yeah, Robert Young is he picks it up. He said, oh, I can kneel it, right? Nope, that's going to be a safety. You got to take it out. So now the Weber State offense starts at the 10.
I think it was big Seth block that might have jarred the ball loose at the end. Obviously, didn't get the football, though.
Handoff. Not much going there as we send it back down to Grace Lawrence.
Yes, Ben, the Montana State defensive line has got a nickname. They call themselves the Cold Front. I asked Alec Eckert about it. He said it's a double entendre. It's about the weather in this great state and cold being a word that's used to describe the word tough. Defensive coordinator Sean Howe doubled down on that thought. He said the weather is cold when you play meaningful football in this state, Ben.
Couldn't have said it any better myself. When you're playing these important games in November, getting colder and colder. Yeah, he nailed it. By the way, Spencer Ferguson back in the lineup getting that carry there for Weber State. 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8. Tisdale to the air and zips it. That one complete to Marvin Session. Chase McMillan wraps him up.
Coach Howe's diving up a little more pressure than we've seen, and I kind of like it. Obviously seen stuff on tape. Bringing the pressure, quarterback's got to get the ball out in a hurry. Good tight coverage there by Chase McMillan.
For 2 on 3rd downs. Tight end motions, play fake on the slant, and that one hauled in. Marvin Session once again with a catch. And Weber State moving the chains for the first time today.
Yeah, coverage was just a little loose on this one because that was a nice throw and catch. See, right there, I mean, easy peasy on 3rd and short.
Quickly to the line. In a pile, able to move a couple yards. And now word from the Jewelry Design Center.
More choices. We are Jewelry Design Center, and we want to be your jeweler for life. Come see us in Missoula, on Brooks, across from the Montana Club.
By the way, 13-yard completion for that first down to Marvin Session.
Yeah, I'm fired up to see how stout this defense is. You know, not having Paul Brott today, not having Seth Johnson. Looks like Alec Eckert is playing, but he got dinged up last week as well.
Tisdale looking to make something. Not much there. Again, not much of a runner like with Dijon Jennings. But he's shown he got a little bit of feet there.
This is good coverage because this is just 4-man rush. He sees an opening and takes it. It's a nice run by him. Kind of gets clobbered here at the end by Kenny Iden. Right there, good shot by him. But you know, Coach Meadow will take 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 all day over 3rd and 10 plus.
You know, we were told, by the way, going back to your point about injuries, Paul Barat wasn't supposed to play. Alec Eckert not supposed to be in the lineup today. Also missing Seth Johnson as well in that secondary for Montana State. 3rd down and 6. Coulter May just moving right between the tackles again. And he will have enough to pick up a first down.
Good run by him. Again, nice job by the offensive coordinator here. You know, who also is the head coach, Coach Mental. And I like what they're doing here, Ben. Tempo. They're getting on the ball in a hurry, and they're trying to move fast.
By the way, Spencer Ferguson for Weber State. Out into the flat and met immediately. And they're going to rule him down. It looked like it was Carson Williams.
It was Carson Williams, the redshirt freshman out of Houston, Texas. And we talked about this in the open. These DBs are getting coached, they're getting developed, and they are coming to play each week. We saw multiple great hits last week by the secondary group, and that was a nice hit by him. Good read, good reaction, good pop.
And that performance against Northern Colorado, Brent Vegan saying back on Monday that was the best game for that cornerback group. They made plays on the perimeter, and Chase McMillan's tackle, like you just said a second ago on Carver Cheeks, really set the tone from the jump on the very first play. A loss of 5, 2nd and 15. And now we'll get a timeout from Weber State.
Yeah, Coach Metal didn't like something. They were in a gun split look there, 20 personnel.
30 seconds.
And again, the games in November are the ones they remember, Ty. 2 weeks from today, over the divide for the Brawl of the Wild. Possibly, possibly depending what happens these next 2 weeks, possibly once again for the second time in 3 years, basically the Big Sky Championship game. What an atmosphere that will be in Walker is.
All the marbles, Ben. It's going to be a doozy, no doubt. 2 weeks to play still, a lot of football. But if it was played tomorrow, it would be number 2 versus number 3 for it all.
4 of 7 through the air so far for Kingston Tisdale.
Yeah, I lied. I said it was 20 personnel. This is actually their big tight end, Noah Brenner, up here. High alert for screen draw on this down and distance.
They had split backs, but now past the 45. Just churning those wheels right there. Spencer Ferguson, Zach Black with the tackle.
Yeah, we're going to see. I mean, they've been rotating these guys all year, which is great. You have a big senior defensive captain like Paul Brott, one of your bell cows, go down. But shoot, the guys behind Eckert and Brott, they've been playing a ton. They're seasoned veterans by now.
Well, Brent Vegan and D-line coach Nick Jean-Baptiste obviously continue to stress the importance of having that depth on that D-line, especially when we get to the month of November. 3rd and 13 to the screen game in the flat. Not much going again. The ball finds Mason York. Bryce Grebe wraps him up.
Really nice play by him. Good open field tackle. Kind of a conservative play call on 3rd and long there, just to dump it out in the flat. Nice job by the Cats. Nice job by Grebe. Bring out the punt team.
Once again, Taco Dowler as well as Dane Steele. Back to return this punt. Henry Way will boot it away. Dane Steele bouncing to the outside. Gets a block, cuts upfield. Past the 45 and near midfield. They talk so much about Taco Dowler being good in the return game. Dane Steele with some fireworks on that return.
Great return by Steele there, and just a fantastic play by number 80 for Weber State. A good hustle play, Mason York, here at the very end, but nice play. I'd call them respect. I love these jerseys, by the way. You got different adjectives loving up our military. Respect. Love it.
A 31-yard return there, and we, of course, welcome our viewers watching in Salt Lake City on Utah 16. Thanks for joining us, and our apologies for the technical error earlier in the broadcast. As right now, Montana State leading 7-0 as we wind down this first quarter. Lamson, the handoff. Julius Davis. Look at that dude go! No one will catch him. Julius Davis all the way for 6.
Whammy! Wow! You talk about opening up a game, Ben. That was a great job by his offensive line, getting it blocked up. Great vision by Julius Davis. Inside zone to the house.
52 yards.
Right there, you saw JT Reed just get that one extra block. Nice job by him. Next thing you know, we're looking at, it's kind of a little slugfest there, the first 2 series. Now we got 14-0.
Now a 14-0 lead for number 3 Montana State on Julius Davis's 5th TD on the ground this season.
You can see right there at the end, just enough. Defensive back lost vision of him. Nobody can catch him. Again, just inside zone. Watch those guys. Just again, I say it every chance I get, Ben. Mass kicks ass, and they were doing that on that play.
7 yards per carry this season for Julius Davis, and having a great 2025. And you could just see the intensity from Julius Davis, and you can kind of understand why. Wasn't 100% last season, now healthy, looking like the all Big Sky back we saw back in 2023 after feeling like it was an incomplete 2024. Bozeman was where he said he found his love of football again, and he definitely loves tearing up the turf for the Bobcat faithful, like you saw that on that 52-yard run.
Yep, good shit of him. Shot of him on all 3 running backs actually are sitting together, having a good time after a big explosive run.
Young and Trevor Bank to receive the Wildcats. Berger on the kickoff for the Bobcats.
And another touchback delivered by Colby Froker. And you just look at this schedule for Weber State. I mean, a tough one to wrap up the year. Last week at home against Montana, they're here in Bozeman. They then go to Pocatello to take on Idaho State, and they're back home against NAU. First time ever that they face two top 3 FCS opponents last week coming into this week.
Yeah, not a lot of fun. And both those two opponents at the end, and you and I know because we've already watched ISU and NAU play, they both can be dangerous. Lots of talent on both sides.
You know, that Idaho State win last week on the road at Davis. Tisdale stays on his feet, follows a block. And goes down at the 32-yard line, as that most likely will be the final play of quarter number 1.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get it off either.
No.
Yeah, you're right.
Montana State with 109 yards so far through quarter number 1. The Weber State offense still looking to get going. All Bobcats for the first 15 minutes. 14-0 lead on a sunny day here in Bozeman.
Today's
everything we do. Learn more at wattsmart.com.
Part of Montana's untamed will. Brewed with the rugged beer.
Or deep beneath the stream. The question is, where does your
Pacific Northwest, we just wanted to be the best. Or everything. Until one day, you look up and realize.
Today's game is sponsored by Montana State University, Mountains and Mines, Town Pump, Pump It Up, Stockman Bank, Montana's brand of banking, your Montana Chevy dealers, and the University of Montana. Build your skills the Montana way.
Talk about a climb. Definitely has to be grueling and treacherous. But a great time of the year. Love seeing the snow return. Start of the second quarter, busting right through the hole. Still on his feet, Coulter May rumbling and got poked out from behind. Ball's on the turf, covered by Montana State.
Well, that was a crazy play. You know, I thought they brought like a middle pop and inside pressure by the linebackers, and so they looked like they were, out of gap right here, right there. Bryce Creeby's got to make that tackle. Really nice run, but again, ball security's job security. Ben, CPR, club punch rip by Caden Dowler.
Neil Daly, I believe, with the recovery.
It was Neil Daly. It's good to see him healthy again. You know, they got a nice rotation going on at linebacker. Great hustle play by him, and again, Coach Menzel, we saw it last week. You put the ball on the ground, you can come take a seat on the bench.
Yeah, on just the first play of the game, Zach Herbachic fumbled the ball, allowed Montana to score very quickly, didn't see the field the rest of the game. 1st and 10. Back to Julius Davis, finding a window with a stiff arm and pushed out of bounds. About a yard shy of the first down marker. Another strong run by number 32.
Yeah, free safety BJ Carey there, big junior out of Downey, California. It's the one thing I never understand. You know, offensive players can put their hands and stiff arm in a defensive player's face mask. Nice run by the Juice.
Still remain in the ballgame right now. Justin Lamson going under center. Julius Davis right now averaging under 19 yards per carry. They'll go to the air this time. Lamson lets it rip on the far side. That one complete and met immediately. Ryan King moves the sticks for a first down, coming off a solid performance against Northern Colorado.
Yeah, this is a long throw by Lamson for a couple few yard gain here. Just a little play action off the run fake here. can see his first initial look wasn't there. Nice protection by the Cat O-line.
This offense specifically trying to get Ryan King more opportunities in the passing game. To the air again, rifles it, incomplete. Intended for Hunter Province.
Yeah, I think even if this throw was on target, Ben, you know, I was just talking about B.J. Carey. He's the post safety here. He was tracking with it all the way. Might have been good that it was off target and incomplete because he saw it coming.
They'll go split backs on 2nd and 10. Julius Davis will flank out. Adam Jones bouncing to the outside, down the boundary, and ripped out of bounds by B.J. Carey. And now a word from the Montana Boat Center.
Football season, boating season. You can plan for one while enjoying the other. Order your new dream boat now. Montana Boat Center.
Well, so far it's been the rushing attack for Montana State that has been showing out here in the first half. Now up to 100 yards on the ground. New set of downs again as Taco Dowler will move inward. From the 41. Blitz comes. Lamson picks it up, gets it to Adam Jones. Taken down out of bounds, Mason Hitchens, the leading tackler for the Weber State defense.
It's a good tackle by Hitchens, but this is what I love about Adam Jones, man. I think he's an exceptional running back, but he's so good catching the football and making plays as a receiver as well. The Swiss Army knife. And just like that, Montana State's in the high red now.
Yeah, Adam Jones, we've been told multiple times, the best running back in terms of catching out of the backfield. Lamson underneath this time, and again, decked immediately Chris Long by once again, Mason Hitchens.
Yeah, I like this Hitchens kid, man. Junior out of Orange, California, leading tackle. Came into the game with 66 tackles. Right now, he's 13th in the Big Sky.
Sets the tone, the emotional leader for that Weber State defense, according to DC Joe Dale. And we chatted with him earlier this week. 2nd and 5. 5 on the line again for Weber State. Lamson just lowers that shoulder, takes contact, moves the chains again. Angel King with the wrap up. Fans, time to check in with this week's Williams Plumbing and Heating poll. Which ranked FCS team had the most surprising loss last week in what was an insane week in the FCS? Tarleton State going down, South Dakota State, UC Davis, North Dakota. Of course, today's poll question is sponsored by Williams Plumbing and Heating. I mean, a lot of choices there.
There is. I circled South Dakota State just because, you know, what a fall from grace and to lose the way they did to not a very good team. Shoot, they lose another. They could be in danger.
False start. Offense, number 64. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Burke Mastel call for the penalty. But it also just shows, when talking about the Jackrabbits, just how valuable Chase Mason is. Of course, didn't play once again last week in that loss.
No, it's a great call by you. He is an exceptional player, and they're just not the same outfit without him.
Taco Dowler will leave the backfield. Empty set for Lamson. Up the gut, takes off again. Lamson gets upended. And another big run by QB1.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, you know, you can see his vision here. It's not there, and you know, Lamson is just not good on his feet anymore. And again, this is a nice shot at the end here.
Just knows when to take off it. And we even asked Brent Vegan, because it was kind of the same thing last year with Tommy Malott, trying to preserve him, make sure he doesn't take too many hits. But Vegan saying he's figuring out, talking about Justin Lamson, when to be physical and when to stay in the pocket. Double pass, going right back to Lamson, hauling it in past the 10. Lamson going for the pylon and knocked out of bounds. Some trickery there from Pete Sturbick.
Yeah, that red zone trickeration, Ben. you're going to see it. And Weber did, mostly good job of getting this covered. I kind of smelled trick play right from the get-go. They just needed one more block there. They were using our guy Adam Jones there is just kind of trying to run guys off.
Well, good creativity going to the former quarterback in Jordan Reed, who made that pass. In the red zone, just right up the middle, battling for the goal line. And getting in, touchdown Bobcats. Adam Jones once again gets in.
Really nice series by the Cats offense there, Ben. I mean, with the extra point here, you got looking at 21 already. That's a blackjack, baby. Good tough physical run there by Adam Jones. You're starting to see both tailbacks now in Adam Jones and Julius Davis start to make their presence known.
As now Lamson, Julius Davis, and Adam Jones have now found the blue turf so far. For Adam Jones, number 9 on the ground. Like I said, it's been the running attack so far for number 3 Montana State. 119 on the ground as they use it to punch it in. Adam Jones for 6. 3 touchdown lead for Montana State.
The thrill of
the youth of the foundation, an environment like that, communities, not
once again, a lot of great. Nice to get a little bit of recognition.
Yeah, just
I jokingly say that,
yeah,
by the way.
Good-looking buck, somebody shot there, and then you and I are my ugly mugs.
Another line drive kick. Robert Young busting through the hole, cuts near midfield past the 40. And a solid return there for Weber State. But the offense again just clicking for Montana State, already up 21-0. 181 total yards as you look at that scoring drive summary. 10 plays, 67 yards. And this is just how effective the offense has been this year. And just overall, the margin.
Yeah,
I mean, just look at that. Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of a given at this point.
And that's what I'm saying, though. The defense has been so dominant. People forget this offense is dang good, too. Really good.
Well, Adam Jones even said earlier this week he believes that a lot of people aren't talking about the offense enough here in Bozeman. And a good hard run there at the 50-yard line. As we go down to Grace Lawrence, who's joined by MSU AD Leon Costello.
Yes, thank you so much for joining the broadcast, Leon. I want to start with those master plans. There's going to be updates and expansions throughout campus. How did all of it come about?
Yeah, back in 2017, we started our first one, and we've accomplished so much from that first one. It was time to get a little bit of an upgrade. There's a lot more things that we want to do. It's been a really good roadmap for us facility-wise, and now it's just an upgrade and a refresh vision of what we want to accomplish here at Montana State.
Yeah, what are the next steps, after the plans come out over these next few years?
Yeah, so now it's getting people excited about what's to come. We really need donors to step up and to, select a project that they want to support. And then we got to get into the design phase. But this allows us now to go have some meaningful conversations with some potential donors about funding, about how we're going to be able to pay for it all. But you're going to see a lot more things from us here in the near future. Feasibility studies, fan engagement, fan surveys on what we feel like we can accomplish.
That's awesome. It's a beautiful home game, home weather here in Bozeman. I know they're fighting for some home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Do you think this team can make a run like last year?
Oh, of course. I mean, this team has gotten better every single game, and being on the road here really kind of solidified that for me as, defense travels, right? And they really set the offense up. Coach Vegan talks about complementary football. This team is playing really, really well together, and it's great to see so many fans back here in Bobcat Stadium. It's always great to be at home, and we want to host as many playoff games in here as we can in December.
Definitely. Congratulations on all the success. That was Leon Costello. Back to you guys upstairs.
Incomplete on 5 wide.
Yeah, it was Dom Solano, I believe. Again, the numbers are a little tougher to see with the camo. who batted the ball down. I tell you what, kind of the way I spoke about Wanda Cruzado when she was the president, that man right there, Leon Costello, I think someone will eventually try to poach him because the job he's done at Montana State's incredible. President Tessman, whatever it takes to keep that guy, pay him. Pay that man his money.
2 for 5 on third downs today, Weber State. With the play clock winding down, Mickey Mental's going to have to call another timeout. Some confusion between the freshman QB and his head coach.
For how you just help.
The help of PACS.
Their financial lives for almost. Simply put, you. Ouch.
Military Appreciation Day, the camo look with the white pants. Absolutely solid. Really great look. And you want to talk about blue. That's the Lost Blue Man group member.
He looks like the chick off the original Willy Wonka.
Looked like Paul Giamatti from Big Fat Liar. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. That's a childhood flashback for me. On 3rd and 10, Tisdale rifles it, intercepted right into coverage. Caden Dowler looking for blockers. Past the 50. He's got open turf, cutting back inside, mazes his way through. And Caden Dowler with the pick. Dealing with so many injuries over the years, a big-time play there to get into Bobcat territory.
Watch the post safety here. Great eyes by Dowler. He just reads it all the way. Not a great throw ball. But that is post safety play right there at its finest. And then he takes it back. Great run. You can see his homies leading the charge, trying to block for him. They just needed one more block. Great play by Caden Dowler, man. The Dowler boys, they will be remembered for a long time in this part of the world.
And it was Noah Benny taking him down. Of course he gets the
hat.
Cowboy hat. Bobcats rolling here in the second.
In the sky, long way. Whatever it is,
these have been the best-selling trucks. Second best, but tough.
You can make to your home. It could be the most effort with a whole home air purifier that gives you.
Find the Carrier dealer nearest you.
The first INT of the season for Caden Dowler, and like I mentioned before, a career that hasn't really gone his way with the injuries that he's dealt with over the seasons, and a really good story that defensive coordinator Sean House shared with us earlier this week. He said, sometimes when you're hurt, you don't feel like you can help out. And talking about Caden Dowler, he was out there coaching guys, and now the players embrace him, kind of like a Ryland Ort, as that one is incomplete, trying to go to Dane Steele. But it just shows the leadership.
Yeah, he's had a lot of adversity, no question, and Sean Howe's exactly right. I mean, some guys fold with that much adversity, and some just make him stronger. He's having a great year. Came into the game as the leading tackler. Not this defense, for as outstanding as they are, they don't have a ton of, we'll call them superstars, and not a lot of crazy stats, but they're just dang good and solid.
Taco Dowler met by a pair of Weber State defenders. They'll bring up third down.
That first down play, they went a little bunch route and just kind of off-target throw by Lamson because he had an open receiver there in Steele. Just a little high.
After a slow start on third downs, Montana State now 3 of 4 today. As we hit the halfway point of the second quarter. Pressure coming, Lamson picks it up underneath Chris Long, shakes away from a tackle, hurdles a man, and inside the 5. And Chris Long showing how athletic he really is, being a former defensive player from Rutgers.
Yeah, exactly. He's a long way from home, grew up in Willingboro, New Jersey, and he kind of took a page out of Julius Davis's book here, Ben, with a little bit of hurdle. Get a couple extra yards out of the deal and get your offensive unit down to First and goal.
Now at the 4. And the Bobcats looking to punch it in again.
This is what I'm talking about. This is an unbalanced formation here, so that inline tight end is ineligible.
Making the squeeze, and in the end zone, the tight end group getting it done again. Bozeman's own Rocky Lencioni finds the blue turf again.
The Italian Stallion. I mean, my goodness, has he come on strong in the last month of football, Ben? Bozeman high grad. This young tight end group, man, they're all returning for multiple years. And Coach Pete Skierbeck just keeps looking for ways to find the tight ends and keep getting them the rock as they should, because my goodness, they just keep scoring.
His 5th touchdown of the season for Rocky Lencioni. Yeah, Pete Skierbeck telling us, I remember earlier this season, you look at the city of Bozeman, I mean, they just breed tight ends. You got Rocky Lencioni, Ryan Schlepp, Luke Smith, who's also on the roster. I mean, the lineage of that group. A lot of pride in that tight end group here in Bozeman.
Yeah, there's a couple position groups that always kind of stand out to me in terms of, you know, what you can find in the state of Montana: linebackers and tight ends. And I want to throw the offensive line in there. You know, the old linemen, you know, used to always be able to find big offensive and defensive linemen. And you know, you look at that cat front, the cold front, if you will, Ben. A lot of Montana boys out there.
And meanwhile, for Weber State, something that Mickey Mental also stressed to us during our call earlier this week, they got to minimize bad plays. And you've seen it on special teams. A bad interception thrown by Tisdale that went into the arms of Caden Dowler. And obviously had that fumble when that ball was poked loose. I mean, that continues to be a trend for that Weber State offense the last couple of weeks.
Well, I mean, again, we still have a lot of time left in the first half, and they've already got 2 turnovers, Ben. I mean, that's not going to win you games. Coming into the game, you know, I talked about those quarterbacks, that tandem. You know, there's 13 interceptions on the year. It's just turning the ball over too much, and I think that, you know, obviously the injury bug is playing a part of that.
Looking for a spark on special teams, and a big hit delivered. Not much going on that return. As you go back a week ago, what an interception. Talon Marsh off the deflection. Big man just rumbling down the field all the way into the blue turf. And then today, Caden Dowler with a big return of his own to get the Bobcats into excellent field territory.
The number one job of a defense, as a defensive player, as a unit, your job is to get the football back for your offensive homies, and that's what they've been doing.
Jaylene Recker, the man in motion. Right between the tackles again. Able to stay on his feet and just keep on churning. A solid run by Spencer Ferguson, making his return today after missing the game against Montana with a hamstring injury.
Really nice run here. Again, Caden Dowler, we're just talking about him, and then Xavier Arians, they got to wrap up when they tackle there. Obviously, they still got him down, but good run by Weber State.
But this is a Weber State offense that's had impressive streaks of running the football. You saw it a little bit last week in the second half against Montana. Tight end will flank out and swallowed up immediately. Nowhere to go. Hunter Parsons pounces on him for a loss.
Yeah, the big senior out of Sparks, Nevada. He read that beautifully. Big tackle for loss here, 2nd and long. Nice play by Hunter Parsons.
A loss of 3. And that's how dominant this Montana State defense has been this season. Obviously taking out that loss against Oregon, especially that big fat goose egg in the 3rd quarter. 2nd and 13. As he finds Kelton Wafer. Taken out by Takari Card. And just overall, that defense, excellent. 58 total points. 58 total allowed in the last 7 games.
It's remarkable. I mean, like I said in our studio hit, I mean, if they stay the course, they'll go down as one of the greatest defenses, in not just school history, but in the history of the Big Sky. Statistically, suffocating and dominant. I mean, look at that. That's
a lot of number ones.
But that's what wins you championships, man. And it looks like all roads are going to continue to lead through Fargo. Got to have a stout defense to knock those guys off.
Short yard of 1 there will bring up 4th down.
Decision time for Coach Mental, and it looks like he's going to bring out the punt team.
By the way, Dijon Jennings now in the game at quarterback for Weber State. And Mickey Mental's bunch will be forced to punt it away again. And the fake right up the middle. And they will move the sticks.
This is a great job by, I didn't see the number of this big kid that got the first down. But, I mean, there was initial contact short, and he just kept churning those big thighs. And great job by him getting that first down there. I think, was that Finau, Ben?
I was still trying to see who it was because it was hard to see from up here. Again, Dijon Jennings now coming in the game. We expected to see both quarterbacks today against Montana State. 15 of 21, 71% for 97 yards. A touchdown and an interception thrown last week in Ogden against the Grizz. Wide open hole, busting through the gut and to the 45-yard line. And Taki Louis-Lakepa making the tackle, making his debut.
Yeah, they're starting to get some health back, with Carr and Taki both back in the lineup. Big explosive run there. Nice job by Weaver.
Into Bobcat territory. Quick hitter. Jalen Record weaves his way past the 40-yard line. Caden Dowler with the tackle. Again, 2 weeks from today, a big showdown coming up at Washington Grizzlies Stadium. Will it be for an outright Big Sky title? Maybe a share of the title? Who knows? Doesn't matter if it's for a title or not. Whenever those two teams face off against one another, it is a heated atmosphere. Of course, you'll be able to catch it right here on Scripps Sports. 2nd down and 5, empty backfield for Jennings. Lofts it down the sideline, trying to make the one-handed grab. Incomplete as he tried to find Kelton Wafer.
Yeah, they went a quad set back to the field here, 4 men, and just ran a go route. Good tight coverage there by the Cat secondary. And I was just right on cue, man. I was just talking about Dakari Carr getting healthy and back in the lineup. Nice play by him.
Third down and 5. Play action. Deep heave again. He's got a man open. Jump ball making the grab. First down, Weber State. Marvin Session, a do-it-all guy, reaching for the sky to haul it in.
Yeah, and if this ball isn't underthrown, Ben, it's a touchdown. Nice catch by him, but man, that quarterback's got to air it out. That's a touchdown.
As we hit the 2-minute timeout, Jennings showing off the arm strength. Weber State looking to get in the end zone.
Today's game is sponsored by
a 30-yard dime from Dijon Jennings to Marvin Session. Gets the Wildcats into the red zone for the first time today. And they really got to capitalize here. Mickey Mental really stressing to us that they are pretty good offensively from the 20 to the 20, but the red zone, they got to capitalize and not settle for field goals. 1st and goal. Dancing, trying to move the pile forward. He does exactly that to the 5-yard line.
Yeah, you're right, though. They really have struggled inside the red zone. You get a big explosive play here. With under 2 minutes to play, you've got to try to plug it in if you're Weber State here, just to get some kind of juice, some kind of mojo going into half.
Spencer Ferguson with the carry, 5th in the Big Sky this season. Weber State in the AVA red zone. John Jennings, the quarterback, giving them a spark today here in Bozeman. He can do work with his legs as well. And wrapped up by a pair of Bobcat defenders. Talon Marsh will get credited with the tackle.
See, he doesn't just get interceptions and touchdowns, man. He actually has to be a defensive tackle at almost 300 pounds when he plays at the line of scrimmage.
Boy, I love the story Sean House shared with us about that interception. He said, I'm running down the sideline laughing my butt off. There ain't no way. And then he's like, oh, he's going to go score. And I got my fat redheaded butt over there to hug him after the touchdown.
Yes. Yeah. I actually had a conversation last night with Coach Howe at the
up the middle, extra effort, and powering his way into the end zone. Spencer Ferguson finds the end zone for a touchdown.
Really good run there by Ferguson. Nice job by his offensive lineman. Just not enough there by Caden Dowler. Got to get his pads underneath that and try to get something going back right there. A little high on the tackle. Great, tough physical run by Ferguson.
Second TD of the season for the redshirt freshman. And the extra point is good as the Wildcats get on the board thanks to Spencer Ferguson. And these two teams, they've had a lot of intense showdowns over the years. We go back to 3 years ago. You and I had the call for this one, Ty. It was a top 5 showdown still to this day. The craziest college football game I've seen, not just called, seen. A rainy day here in Bozeman. Not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 safeties in that game for Weber State. A hard-fought win for Montana State, a game that came down to the final possession.
Yeah, it was. You're right. It was absolutely nuts. And what people forget is Weber State actually returned a touchdown off like a kick return and blocked a kick.
They also had a punt return for a touchdown too.
I mean, just a special teams. I mean, we talk about a roller coaster. I mean, those 8 points ultimately lost them the game because they fought hard. It was a good game. It was a tough game.
I remember, I think it might have been the 3rd or 4th safety. I just threw my spotting boards up in the air. I'm just like, what is going on in Bozeman?
Well, it's an NCAA record.
It is.
It's a record. We witnessed a record, Ben. Yeah, it was nuts. And it was cold. We got to be inside.
I felt bad for Ashley Washburn, our silent reporter at the time, who was just drenched on the sideline. Taking it out of the end zone, out of the touchdown, Jabez Woods. He also gets a couple blocks. Looking for fireworks offensively. Tight ropes it down the sideline. Jabez Woods with a stiff arm and into plus territory. Not just in the wide receiver game, but in the kick return game as well. A couple flashes for Jabez Woods.
Huge return by coach, special teams coordinator Marcus Monaco's group here. But my goodness, what a great run.
77-yard return.
Well, and just as Weber State, you score before half, and then you give up a huge explosive play to one of the best offenses in the country on the 24-yard line.
Again, it goes back to Weber State saying they got to minimize bad plays. Can't do that after getting in the end zone. They'll start this drive from the 23. A short distance to go for Montana State as we wind down this first half. Lamson tucks and runs again and gets spun down.
Yeah, and Coach Vegan's immediately going to call a timeout. He's going for the jugular here. He wants points, and I don't think he wants only 3.
A couple quick drives there for Montana State to quickly get some points on the board.
Yes, sir. And they're gonna evaluate some things here. Probably try to get throw the ball here, see what they can get out of it. Don't think they want to settle for 3 here.
Jabez Woods, 2 straight weeks with a big kick return. Really breaking out here in 2025. Sam Mix, wide receivers coach here at Montana State, instilled the confidence in Jabez Woods and the rest of the room to go be ballers. And the redshirt freshman saying, I got told to go out there and think like a veteran, and he has made some big plays this season. 2nd down and 10, 18 ticks left. Lamson looks right and wrapped up by his ankles. Just swarming all over him. Matt Herron a big standout on that D-line.
Yeah, the junior out of Holiday, Utah. Great play by him, and that's just what they needed. You can see Vegan let the clock run all the way down to 4 seconds here. I think they're going to try elect to take the field goal here. Great play by that young man, though.
3.5 sacks now this season for Heron. Feeling stronger and faster with Weber. The program this season putting an emphasis on strength and conditioning back in the spring.
Yeah, I'm looking at Vegan and Lamson right there on the sideline. It looks like there might have been a miscommunication or something, because Lamson, they were definitely not on the same page with his receiver corps there.
This will be about a 47-yarder for Miles Sandstead. 5 of 7 in this range this season. From the left hash, it's got the leg and gets it through. Making it a 31-7 lead for number 3 Montana State at the break.
Yeah, 31 points at half. I mean, again, nice job getting points at the end. I think there was something up there. I'd love to ask Vegan that on our coaches call next week, but nice job getting points, and it all started, and it all stemmed from that huge return by Jabez Woods.
And on that field goal, Miles Sandstead, Brett Vegan even said before the season, he's added leg and has the ability to go beyond 50. So definitely has got the leg here in 2025 as third-ranked Bobcats. So big plays defensively, big plays offensively, big plays on special teams.
The trifecta.
All 3 phases really showing out this afternoon here in Bozeman. As we go down to Grace Lawrence, who's with Brent Vegan.
Coach, your offense was rolling till that final play. Just how do you evaluate the group as a whole?
Well, I know we had a 3-and-out to start, put a couple good drives together, made some plays, benefited from a couple takeaways the defense made, and that opportunity's sprung by the return we get there, and at least we got the points on the board. I'd like to be smarter with just us, that was going backwards, I guess.
A big play from Caden Dowler on defense. What does that kind of play do for your group?
Well, it flipped the field there. I know, being able to take that ball away and take it into their territory and create a short field is great for the offense.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, so effective defensively, able to flip the field like Brett Vegan said. Really paid off for Montana State in the first 30 minutes. Montana Chevy Dealers halftime report coming up with number 3 Montana State leading it 31-7.
Saturday Showdown halftime studio. I'm Scott Breen alongside Casey Conlon. Montana State well on the way to an 8th straight win, so it appears.
Yes,
playing good football.
Does. Obviously, Weber gets a score late in the half there, but 28-7 Cats led at 28-0 before Weber got on the board. It looks like they are on their way to rolling. Let's get back to Bozeman and show you how it all happened in the first half. First quarter, the Cats in the military camo unis strike first. Taco Dowler flying across in the read option, but Justin Lamson keeps it, bowls his way in for a 7-0 lead. Next Cats possession, Julius Davis, nice cut in the hole, and he's got the wheels to go 52 yards to the house, 14-zip. Now Weber in an early hole, so they find a big play here. Coulter May, watch him break tackles. A couple of them, and then he's loose into the secondary, but Caden Dowler from behind punches the ball out. The former Billings West High teammate Neil Daly jumps on it. What a momentum swing as Dowler forces his first fumble of his career. From there, it's Adam Jones powering up the middle from Weber, potentially getting on the board to the Cats going up 21-0. That was a big one. 31-7 at half, Montana State. Looks like they're on their way to their 8th straight.
Meanwhile, simultaneously over in Missoula, the game you're watching, we're showing you Montana and Eastern Washington pick up action here. Grizz opening drive, Kali'i Ayat to Michael Wortham. Eastern Washington transfer makes his old team pay. Later first quarter, watch this. Corbin Hendricks lays out for the one-handed touchdown haul. See it again, it's a 29-yarder. 14-0 Montana with a big opening quarter. They would lead 22-0 now in the second. When the redshirt freshman quarterback goes to work, Jake Shackle for Eastern Washington lobs it to Kevin Allen on the wheel route. That's Shackle's first career touchdown. And then watch Allen power into the end zone late first half. How did he do it? That trims a 22-0 lead. to 22-14 at the half. Montana on top, but not by as much. Stay with us. We'll go around the Big Sky Conference and the FCS scoreboard with a big surprise score coming up right after this.
First up at 3 o'clock, Sacramento State will visit Portland State. Sac State still an outside chance to sneak into the playoffs. And then at 4, Idaho State hosts Cal Poly.
Also at 4, Northern Arizona hoping for a playoff push of its own, hosting Northern Colorado. And maybe your game of the day, UC Davis, coming off its first conference loss of the year to Idaho State. Aggies today at Idaho, which is still clinging to its own playoff possibility. That's a 5 o'clock kick. Meantime, your additional FCS games worth keeping an eye on. Top-ranked North Dakota State trailing right now against 13th-ranked North Dakota. 3 field goals, all the Bison could muster to this point. Meantime, South Dakota State is tied at 7, just knotting it up with South Dakota in a pair of rivalry games.
A couple other scores quickly to get to. Lehigh, number 4, they win it. Number 7, Monmouth, they lose 34-13 to New Hampshire. And Tennessee Tech, number 5, they win it today over Eastern Illinois. That'll do it for us at halftime. We're back to Bozeman after this. Enjoy the second half. We'll see you after both of our games. Enjoy it.
A 31-7 lead for Montana State. As we get ready for half number 2, we take a look at the highlights from the first 30 minutes. And Montana State's offense really clicking early. Justin Lamson able to find the end zone. But a big play here, Julius Davis getting the handoff and just rumbling for 6.
Yeah, you said it right before half. All 3 phases have been sharp. And I think defensively, you're kind of feeling, the loss of Paul Broad and Seth Johnson a little bit. I mean, they're still playing good, shooting 7 points at half. You just haven't seen them give up almost 200 yards and a half for a while. But yeah, great play there by Lencioni. It's been good. I mean, 31-7, take that all day, every day.
Also had that Caden Dowler pick. Second half next from Bozeman. Third quarter about to get underway on a beautiful day right here in Bozeman. Blue skies. Again, couldn't have asked for a better day. Montana State will get the ball to start this second half, and they'll start the third quarter from the 25-yard line, up 31-7. As you look at the stats right now, Ty, I mean, it's pretty even offensively between Montana State and Weber State. 194 for the Cats, 178 for the Wildcats. But the big thing for Montana State, and you mentioned it, they're getting it done in all 3 phases that have helped them rack up the yards.
Yeah, I mean, you just said, the statistics are mostly balanced. What's not balanced is 2 takeaways by the Cats, and Montana State is almost perfect on third down, extending those drives. So, yeah, I mean, we saw two kind of, 4 or 5 minute drives and then a couple quick hitters.
Getting it done on the ground, 116 yards for Montana State. They'll start there. Julius Davis busting through the hole, bouncing to the outside, trying to pinball around a defender, I should say, and gets past the 40-yard line.
Nice start, just a standard issue split zone here. You can see it. They're in their 12 personnel. Great blocking by their tight ends, per usual, and the rest is on the juice. Nice run by 32.
And Julius Davis with a strong afternoon. Waiting for the stats to update. Give you the numbers on Julius Davis after that run as he gets the call again. Now up to 92 yards, averaging 18 yards per carry, Julius Davis.
Well, the one big play sure helps too.
Yeah.
That was a big one. He'll get a quick blow and put in his buddy there, Adam Jones.
Taco Dowler motions. Adam Jones trying to squeeze in between the tackles.
Really nice job by defensive coordinator Joe Dale's front four there. Stiffening up just a little after they gave up the big run to Julius.
And now a 3rd down and 9 on a loss of 1. It'll be a 5-wide set. Empty backfield for Justin Lamson. 4 for 5 on 3rd downs today. Lamson climbs the pocket, lets it rip. Dane Steele making the catch and trying to get more of those yaks after picking up a 1st down. BJ Carey wrestles him down.
Yep, put his cleat right at the stick there and got the 1st down. I mean, and Dane Steele, I mean, he's really had a kind of a breakout year in my mind. He's a very good football player, a tough kid. Obviously, the brothers, all the Steels are playing for the Cats anymore. Good job by Lamson and Steele connecting, though, to move the chains.
Yeah, was asked to fill in with Chris Long dealing with injuries earlier this season. On the play fake, Lamson with a load of time, and will just use his legs again and scoots out of bounds.
Good coverage by Weber State's secondary here, because he wanted Chris Long, and they covered him up. He nowhere to go. He just decided to tuck it. You're going to see down here at the bottom, right here, he's running a go route, and that's where Lamson's looking the whole time. He's really the only one on the route. Just great coverage there by the DB.
And this is a Weber defense that came in struggling, 11th in the Big Sky, allowing 37 points per game. Adam Jones tries to submarine through, breaks away, and tripped up at around the 20-yard line. Trevion Tribble, the safety, brings him down.
You're gonna see it right here. Just good vision, and then wasn't even a missed tackle. He just get blocked, and good vision by Adam to cut that outside and get 15 more yards.
Seven yards per carry today for this rushing attack. As they'll go to 12 personnel, new set of downs as Lamson gets bumped from behind, still completes it to Taco Dowler. Dowler down the boundary, tight ropes it, stays on his feet, but they're going to rule him out of bounds at around the 10-yard line. But talk about making something out of nothing.
He does, and we're going to see this. I'm sorry, we're not going to see it. Really nice job by Taco. He's just slippery. I'm not sure if we're going to see an end zone shot here, Ben, but Lamson was ticked at his running back for almost knocking him over. It's a good job by Lamson keeping that play alive.
It's Taco Dowler. Kind of a quiet afternoon, but obviously a big force in that Cats offense. 1st and goal. Adam Jones flips sides. Looking, throwing on the run, wide open. Touchdown, Montana State. Ryan King, after they've strived to get him in the end zone, Ryan King finally hauls in his first career touchdown.
Awesome for that kid, man. I mean, really, really a nice route. You're going to see it right here from the end zone. But yeah, he's an unsung hero in terms of all the perimeter blocking. You kind of saw it last week. He had 80-some yards last week, and his buddy Lamson finally found him to hit pay dirt there for his first touchdown as a Cat. It's awesome.
Not only of the season, but of his career.
That's awesome. Good for him.
Yeah, formerly out of Georgia Tech, East Carolina. Lamson even said after that win over Northern Colorado, Montana State, they've been specifically trying to get him in the end zone. And all smiles for the Cats wideout.
Today's game is sponsored by Montana State University, Mountains and Mines, Town Pump, Pump It Up, Stockman Bank, Montana's brand of banking, your Montana Chevy dealers, and the University of Montana. Build your skills the Montana way.
Riding high above the clouds here in the state of Montana, and on the gridiron, number 3, Montana State also riding high with a 38-7 lead here in the 4th quarter. As Robert Young will take this return past the 25. And that's where they're going to mark him to start this drive. But Ryan King, going back a week ago down in Greeley, a couple opportunities to get into the end zone, a couple balls just underthrown. Some nice catches there. Again, getting some opportunities, but finally paying off a long college career as he finally gets 6 points.
Yeah, you could see it coming last week, you know, and again, he's been very, very good in this offense. You know, with his blocking, and now it's just time to, he was waiting his turn to get a touchdown, and he got one.
As we have an injured Wildcat on the field. For much more on King, we go back down to Grace Lawrence.
Yes, Ben, I was able to do a feature for Montana Sports on Ryan King this week. That's his first touchdown in a 6-year career. He thought he might want to be done with the game after ECU, but he came out to Montana and he really loved the program right away, and he's found joy in this stop, according to Coach Vigen. His priorities have changed. He loves this team, and I asked him, how has Montana been for you? Exceeded his expectations, guys.
I mean, you could just tell with a giant grin on his face how much it means to finally get a touchdown. Weber State's offense just looking for anything to get going as Ferguson will get the carry. And yeah, Ryan King saying earlier this season, you know, being a wide receiver who blocks, which has been his role the last couple of years, you got to find that joy somewhere. And his teammates have definitely helped him keep his head on straight, and ultimately paid off with finally getting some targets and getting a touchdown.
Yes, it did, and I think everyone is happy for him because, you know, like I said, you know, when you're not getting touches, especially as a wide receiver, it kind of takes the love out of the game. It's great to see him getting those 2 big ones last week and then his first goal.
Ferguson again the carry, gain of 1, brings up 3rd down.
You're going to see right here just that stout front 4 right there. Had to bounce it, and sure enough, our guy from Billings, Montana, Caden Dowler, adding to his already team-leading tackle total.
A big day for him with an INT now up to 7 this afternoon. 3rd down and 6. Underneath in the air, incomplete. Batted away. Who else? Caden Dowler again on the coverage.
Great tight coverage by him. Just does a nice job. He's sticking on him like dang glue. Gets his hand in there just to get the ball out.
Intended for Jaylene Record, their top wideout. Not the analogy I thought you were going to go with. I thought you were going to say maybe like white on rice or something like that.
Yeah.
4 of 10 on 3rd downs now for Weber State. Taco Dowler from the 29. Going horizontal, and once again showing off the speed. Dowler into plus territory.
Gets a great block here by Neil Daly.
What a day for that household. Not only Caden as well as Taco, but Caden Dowler might have the biggest day. Some friendly brother competition. The wheels went. Fans here in Bozeman once again taking in a Bobcat runaway here in the 3rd quarter. And we want to once again ask all of you fans out there to show off your team spirit. Send us your best superfan photos, and you can see yourself on the big screen today. Again, just scan the QR code on your screen, upload your favorite fan shots. We'll pick more of them to highlight coming up later on in the 4th quarter as the Bobcats will start from the 37-yard line. Here's Julius Davis off the hesitation, looking for an opening, and a pickup of 2 there by Julius Davis.
It's a good job by that defensive line. I mean, just kind of plugging those holes, making Julius have to bounce the ball out. They were in 12 personnel there. They had Rocky Lencioni out at the split out, brought him back in. You know, other than there's been a couple explosive run plays, but I feel like this Weber State front has actually played pretty well for the most part.
They really had to lean a lot on their defense. Wide open in the flat, Taco Dowler sprinting up the sideline and out of bounds. Another big gain there by Taco Dowler, as now here's a word from Whitefish Credit Union.
Montana's the best way to save. Whitefish Credit Union certificates are available now.
In the red zone once again, Montana State. Four for 4. Perfect today in the red zone for the Bobcats. Lencioni motions in once again, going with that 2 tight end set. Julius Davis pinballs off a couple defenders and gets to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, again, it's still 12 personnel with both tight ends there. They're just doing a lot of different things with Lencioni, bring him back in to a trade look at the 2 tight end set, and then run split zone with him. Really nice run by Julius Davis.
Just continuing to churn, now over the century mark, 104 yards today for Julius Davis. Second and 2 after an 8-yard gain. Julius Davis reverses course. And again, just physical, battling his way close to the goal line.
This is an unbalanced set, so they're bringing 4. They got both tight ends on the same side, just running inside zone out of it. Not as much power and counter this year, Ben. I mean, not a lot of gap scheme out of Coach Sturbeck's offense. Inside zone, outside zone, split zone.
Davis for the goal line, and he gets in again.
Nice drive by the Cats. This is where you're Weber State. You're just trying to get out here and keeping everyone who is healthy, because they've just been decimated by injuries. You saw the quarterback go down in the first half, and they just can't afford to lose any more guys. Really nice drive. I was just talking about Coach Sturbeck. Great play execution. Another touchdown for that big fella right there.
Now up to 114 yards for Davis after those 2 runs that resulted in a touchdown. $45-7. And it doesn't matter if it's Julius Davis or Adam Jones or even Justin Lamson. Opposing defenses have had a difficult time stopping that running game. Big lead in Bozeman.
Today's game is sponsored by your Montana Chevy dealers.
Pair of TDs today for Julius Davis, and overall the running attack, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, just finding the end zone so many times today. Adam Jones, Justin Lamson, 178 on the ground total for the Bobcats with this 45-7 lead over Weber. As Bird Butler will look to provide a spark, and special teams coverage once again getting it done for the Bobcats. And like I said, the running attack, Julius Davis, just a physical runner, already over the 100-yard mark today.
Yeah, kind of a relatively quiet day for Davis and Jones last week. Jones, he's got most of the dang rush yards for the offense today. But yeah, big day for the running back room. You can see right here. I mean, again, you can see his day. Oh, I like that. But those 2 were kind of quiet last week. But when you have this guy right there, Ben, who went off for a career day last week, it's a complete unit, complementary football.
Yep, you nailed it. Complementary football. Justin Lamson, when he can sling it, you don't really need those big performances in the running game. And meanwhile, defensively swallowed up. Once again, Hunter Parsons with another sack.
Yeah, really nice play by him. They tried just a little quarterback draw job by the front, having the back have to bounce the play, and Hunter Parsons right there to get a TFL.
And the strength of all those DNs, that depth. So many different playmakers in that position group here in 2025. And you highlighted this when we were in break. 65 passing yards for Weber, as that one is incomplete. They still have not completed a pass here in the second half.
Correct. Yeah, we were at the break, and I looked up at the scoreboard, and it said 65. Shoot. thought that's what it was at half. They have not got a completion this half.
And with all the injuries that Mickey Mental and this Weber State team have had to deal with, speaking as a former coach, how do you keep morale? Because I'd imagine it cannot be a fun time dealing with these injuries, being down so many playmakers, down 45-7.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to keep coaching them up, keep loving them up. Again, it's one of those years, you know, you and I were talking throughout the week. I mean, just what's happened to Weber State football, you know, since Jay Hill has left. You know, this was always a red letter type game, but you know, whether I was at Montana or Montana State, it didn't matter. You knew you were in for a slugfest, a fist fight when you played Weber State, and they're just struggling. So yeah, I mean, to answer your question, you just got to keep loving up the kids, man, because they still got football left. You know, they got to try to get a win against Idaho State or a win against NAU or both, and end the season on a high note.
Zach Cruz on the tackle, by the way, so they'll have to punt it away. Dane Steele fakes the flip, cuts upfield. Looking again for another big return, and lost the football. And looks like it's going to be recovered by Weber State. Well, for how big the special teams have played today for Montana State, a miscue.
Ball security's job security, Ben, and you know they've gotten this two returner look. You can't put the ball on the ground. It's a never. Security got to tuck it. Gonna tuck it. You can see right here, right at the end. Nice job by Weber getting the ball back.
Looked like it was Will Way, possibly, who punched it out. So now the Wildcat offense gets to keep the football.
And that's a pretty great play by Will Way, who's the dang center. He's the starting center this week because Cale Casto is out. For all the FCS lovers out there, which is, you know, most everybody who's actually watching and listening to our broadcast, Ben, looks like North Dakota State's in a dogfight.
Well, they're going to take a look at this. They're going to go to the review. Wasn't able to clearly hear Spencer Mumford on what they're exactly looking for. Are they looking at who recovered it, or are they looking at... Yeah, that's what they're looking at. They're seeing who recovered it. I mean, it's
Weber.
Yeah. I mean, that should be a pretty short review.
Ball's out, fumble. White and purple on the ball, on the recovery.
Yeah, like you said, North Dakota State right now up 15-10 with under 2 minutes to go against North Dakota, trying to hold on to that #1 spot.
You talk about two big men making a play on special teams. That is the starting center.
After review, the ruling on the field has been upheld. It's first down, Weber State.
So big Will Way gets the forced fumble, and then his buddy on the other side of the ball, Zion Finau, who's the starting D tackle today. Good play by those guys. Coach Vegan, the big fella, not happy about turning the rock over.
Yeah, 3 offensive linemen listed out today for Weber State, along with the starting quarterback, Jackson Gilkey, broken fibula out for the season. Cash McCollum hurt his throwing hand. You're down to your 3rd and 4th string QBs, and right on cue, Jennings throws it and right into coverage and picked off by Takari Carr. Down the sideline, will just trot out of bounds.
I mean, I get it. They're trying to make something happen, you know, taking some shots, taking some chances. We're gonna have a penalty here at the end for a little extracurricular taunting, but really not a great ball here. A pretty easy pick for Carr. I'll be curious to see who they get the 15-yarder on, or if it'll be offsetting here. Nice job by Carr going up and snatching that football.
That will be his first INT of the season.
Well, he's been battling some. Oh, I can't wait.
There you go.
All right, this is what I like. That young man is from Compton, California, Ben, wearing the takeaway cowboy hat.
Offense number 4. It's a 15-yard penalty. It'll be first down. That foul was a flagrant foul. Number 4 has been ejected from the game.
And if this was a close game, that would be huge because Jaylene Record is their top wideout.
Exactly. I was just going to say he's one of their best players, and he gone. I wonder if we're going to.
There he goes.
Bye. And that's just frustration. You know, that's kind of their season right there, man.
Because I was just about to ask you, I go back to that conversation we just had a second ago about keeping morale, not getting frustrated. Because, I mean, it has to be super frustrating having so many playmakers out. And, yeah, I mean, last week, I mean, that game against Montana, you could argue that game was over from the jump.
No doubt. The worst season I ever had as a coach was our first year here in MSU, and you just had to just keep believing in the process, trust the process, keep working, knowing that if we keep doing the right things, we're going to get better.
Lamson, clean pocket, steps up, takes off himself, punches the gas, leaps in. Another touchdown from QB1, and the Cats just rolling here in Bozeman.
No one is as fast as Tommy Malab, and I feel like we talk about Tommy and the old way they used to run the football. But Justin Lamson's smooth, man. I mean, he's a big athletic kid, and I mean, there's nothing but the blue turf there in the end zone. Parted like the Red Sea. He sees it, he recognizes it, takes off. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Another TD rush from Justin Lamson after arriving here in Bozeman. Really getting the chance to sling it, but still showing off the legs like he did at Stanford.
Yeah, kind of a quiet day passing considering he's coming off a career day last week in Greeley, only 128 through the air, but hey, when you're rushing for just under 200 yards and it's been productive, and frankly, they're not stopping it. Don't fix it if you don't have to, and they're running the ball at a high clip today, no doubt.
(52-7). Yeah, I'd imagine that guy's probably. And again, he's been dealt a bad hand. A long day for Mickey Mental in that Weber State program. And it is a long day considering they have to go up against the top defense in the Big Sky.
Yeah, the first one we saw, that was that safety pressure. Great job by Caden. Caden Dowler was on both those plays one way or another. You can see big Hunter Parsons there on the tackle for loss. Defense. Ball thrown right to the cover 2 safety there in Caden Dowler. Another one to Takari Carr. Breakout, the takeaway cowboy hat.
Outside of South Dakota State, which went to double OT, by the way. Man, we have not called a lot of close games here in 2025.
Nope.
Running into his own man, I should say, and ripped down.
I mean, this is a great tackle by Brendan Ross here. Again, a young DB out of Rockwell, Texas, trying to get on the field anyway. And the offensive player, and this is what drives me nuts, his hands is in his face mask. I mean, again, I know I'm a defensive dude, and I'm always protecting my homies on the defensive side of the ball, but like, why is that not a hands to the face against the offender, Creighton? Answer me that, Creighton.
I'm like the last guy you should be asking about that. Again, 2 weeks from today, the Brawl of the Wild in Missoula. Coverage starts at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. And Spencer Ferguson gets the call again. That should be a fun day out in Missoula in 2 weeks. Brandon Ross, by the way, gets the tackle there.
Back to back, and that's a good physical tackle. Good form tackle there. Getting into the Texas pipeline that's been so good for years now. Good shot. You just saw big 64 Nelson Arapa there, the junior. The kid is from Bora Bora. How about that? You don't see a lot of college football players on rosters from Bora Bora.
Jennings underneath. Past the 20. It's Cole Taylor gets the tackle.
Great Falls finest, Ben.
Jones. Yep. How about that? 20 scoreless quarters this year by this Montana State defense.
It's incredible. they've been so good is that stretch, between kind of that halfway point between the second quarter and then absolutely dominating in the third. Have not given up a point in the third quarter since they were at Autzen Stadium playing one of the best teams in FBS.
As Weber State will move the sticks. So putting your defensive coordinator headset back on, because that's a tremendous stat. No points allowed in third quarters since they were going up against one of the best teams in the FBS in Oregon. How do you explain that? How are they so effective coming out of the locker room and just shutting down opposing offenses?
Sean Howe deserves a dang gold star, man. He's been incredible. As I always used to say, if you're making a ton of adjustments at halftime, then you had a really lousy game plan. But they've obviously come out, coach them up a little bit, maybe adjust a couple things. What are we liking? What are we not? But Sean Howe and his staff deserve so much credit, so much praise. I mean, against FCS opponents, and they're only giving up a touchdown and a dang field goal per game right now. And they're still one of the best defenses statistically with the Oregon game, when you even include those statistics. It's phenomenal.
I mean, Brent Vigen raved about the defense's growth earlier this week. Quick hitter on the far side. And upended out of bounds. Mason York hauls it in. Brent Vigen saying, we learned how to tackle against talented offensive guys when they had to go down to Autzen Stadium to play Oregon. Those guys have gained confidence week by week, getting asked to do more and more. Keeping the ball in front of them has been absolutely huge.
Yeah, I asked the big fella, Coach Vigen, about that, and they don't do a lot of live work against each other. So in terms of the tackling, it's on the position coaches to work it early in practice because they very, very, very rarely go thud and or live unless it's, a scrimmage in fall camp or spring ball.
Jennings being pounced and throws it away. Incomplete. As it looked like the duo of Zach Black and I believe it was Hunter.
Yeah, it was Talon Marsh. You had Zach Cruz on the pursuit. You got Dom Solano. Again, all these guys are playing a ton of snaps.
Hunter Charbonneau. That's right. Again, it's hard sometimes to read the numbers on the new jerseys up here.
It's a little funky, no doubt. Respect. And another Weber punt.
Another punt by Weber State. And Danesdale will just drift out of bounds. Big showdown in the high school ranks on Friday night. Ty, I know you're all-knowing master of high school football knowledge here in the state. Big one last night between Gallatin and Sentinel.
No question. It was a great game. Gallatin beat Missoula Sentinel, coached by Dane Oliver, 34-16. Carter Dalkey, the Cats commit, had a great play. Fumble recovery, touchdown, and sure enough, that was a quarterfinal game, and now Gallatin from right here in Bozeman will head to Glacier up in Kalispell for the semis next weekend.
Always got to give the shout out to the high school kids as well.
Absolutely.
Playing in their playoffs. As we wind down this third quarter. Up the middle and close to the 30-yard line as we're going to start getting the 2s and 3s in the ball game. Patrick Duchesne now in at quarterback. Colson Kuhn with the carry for Montana State.
Well, and my day was just made because a name that a lot of Bobcats will know, Big Lewis Kid, just came in and gave me a hug. Recruited Lewis out of Totino Grace High School, just north of the Twin Cities. One of the great offensive linemen that have come through here and made some money playing on Sundays.
Duchesne stripped from behind, but able to fall on it. And Laundry on the field. We haven't seen a whole lot of penalties today.
No, I talked about it early, how they've been so good early. I think we got a hold, though. We'll see.
Personal foul, illegal hands to the face. Defense number 93. It's a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yeah, the big fella here. You can see, let's see, right there up top. Or no, it's right there.
There you go.
Right there in the middle. I apologize. Again, it's an offensive world. Offensive world, we're just paying rent, defenders.
I was going to say, you finally got your hands to the face penalty you wanted about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why it's absolutely never called on an offensive guy.
Colson Kuhn again with the rock. To the 50-yard line, Mason Hitchens rips him down.
We haven't called Hitchens, you know, we put him in the pregame as a tackling machine. Right now, Coach Vegan and Coach Sturbeck are trying to shorten this game. Not even going to get the playoff here, and we're going to the fourth quarter.
Yep, Montana State rolling on a sunny afternoon in Bozeman. On their way to remaining undefeated in Big Sky play before what will be a huge primetime showdown 1 week from tonight back here at Bobcat Stadium. But one more quarter to play here at Bobcat Stadium, 52-7. Fourth quarter next.
Today's game is sponsored by Montana State University, Mountains and Mines, Town Pump, Pump It Up, Stockman Bank, Montana's brand of banking, your Montana Chevy dealers, and the University of Montana. Our mission is Montana.
A great shot of our entire crew that have done an excellent job all season as Colson Kuhn again carrying defenders, and multiple flags fly again. But again, a shout out to our entire crew. A great job done the entire season.
Yeah, our crew's awesome. I think it's going to be another penalty on Weber State. Might have been a face mask from up here. There they are.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 0. It's a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yeah, that's Hitchens getting a little sloppy here at the end. Again, we already saw a guy get ejected, and it'll be a long trip back to the beautiful city of Ogden, straight south of us.
Again, a big thanks to everybody in front of the camera and behind the camera in our production truck here in 2025. A lot of them will be continuing on over the divide for the Brawl in 2 weeks, including you, Ty Grigorek, and Grace, wanting the end zone, batted up in the air and hauled in. Wow, just when I thought I saw everything, Jordan Reed, the former quarterback, making the squeeze for 6.
What a play by Jordan Reed. I mean, this we're going to see the replay here. Now, keep in mind, he was the backup quarterback, you know, for the first couple years of his career. Ricochets off the one, into the other. Yahtzee. Probably could have been a PI there, too. I think the refs are trying to get out of here myself.
This game has just gotten ridiculous.
Well, and yeah, with the extra point here, we're on the fringe of 60 here, Ben.
59-7.
Here we go. We're going to see it one more time here.
Hugs from Jordan Reed and wide receiver coach Sam Mix. One of the wackiest touchdowns you'll ever see. See, a quarterback's got hands too.
Absolutely.
59-7. Once again, Fan Zone time with the Marsh McLennan Agency. Check out today's featured fans. Again, a lot more great submissions. Of course, you got to get Champ in there.
I like the top right. That looks like the desert.
I was going to say that
warmer.
Probably about Arizona, New Mexico, somewhere in that area. Not only the first touchdown pass for Jordan Reed, or catch, I should say, the first touchdown pass for Patrick Duchesne as well.
Patty Ice.
What a story that is. Jordan Reed was the backup last year, was moved to wide receiver, embraced that role, and you could see, tall drink of water, 6'6", and Brent Vegan has even said he could be a weapon when they get close to the goal line. He was just in the right place at the right time.
Well, and you know, you kind of saw last year, you know, Chance Wilson kind of came on as the true backup.
Right.
So he kind of got dethroned from that position, and they're sitting there going, hey, Kid's a good athlete. He's 6'5", he's long. I mean, I stood next to him. He's a big, long athlete, and they just needed to find a home for him.
Pick up a 3 there from Spencer Ferguson, who's getting his name called a lot here in this one, making his return.
Yes, he is, and you look down at that field on the defensive side of the ball right now. We got a lot of youngsters. If you got to don one of those camo jerseys, there's a really good chance you're going to see the field today with a score of almost 60 dang points to 7.
As I like to say, this is the time where we dive into the deep portion of the roster. Out to the 45. Completed again to Ferguson. And he's a little slow to get up.
Yes, he is. You saw Seth Brock on the play there. You saw Mason Deathman out of Brockton, Montana. I haven't called a Brockton kid in our time together, Ben. Now that you're learning the Montana geography. Even went to Yellowstone a couple weeks ago.
I did. Absolutely beautiful, by the way. Slashing right up the middle, Coulter May to the 45, and we'll move the sticks.
Nice run by May here. One of the bigger runs of the day for him, bigger offensive plays of the day for him, honestly. See, right there, just a couple missed tackles.
One of 3 Wildcats that are still on the team, dating back to that spring 2021 season where Weber State won their 4th straight Big Sky title at the time. He's been in Ogden for a long time, the senior, as he'll get the rock again, and this time swallowed up. Seth Brock brings him down. Fans, make sure to get ready for game day with Megan Robinson during this week in Big Sky football. You'll hear from your favorite coaches and players, plus get an insider's look at the conference. Watch every Saturday on this Script Sports station. Also check local listings for times in your area. Megan right now just about 3 hours away from here out in Missoula, doing work for our Montana Script Sports crew, with the Grizz right now leading 29-17. Bird Butler now getting the call. And about a yard shy of the line to gain.
I mentioned it before the last commercial, Ben. It looked like North Dakota State, #1 in the country right now. They're in a heck of a dogfight there in Grand Forks, and ultimately got the win and will remain 1.
Yeah, for a little bit, I imagine football fans here in Bozeman and out in Missoula were hoping for a different result. The Grizz would have moved up to #1, Bobcats up to #2. How amazing would that be in 2 weeks? 1 versus 2 for a Big Sky title in the Brawl of the Wild. Bouncing to the outside, turning on the Jets once again, Bird Butler out of bounds.
Yeah, those youngsters lost leverage there, Ben. You don't have a defense if you don't have an edge, and there was no edge here. You're going to see right here, there's just a breakdown, and that's what Coach Vegan prides this defense on, is leverage. Leveraging the football. No leverage there. They'll look at the film and learn from it. But yeah, to your point, though, I mean, 1 versus 2, man. But again, North Dakota State, they just, until somebody beats them, man, they have the formula.
Jennings on the rollout, looking, fires on the run, and they will rule it a catch as he delivers it to Marvin Session.
It's a nice throw and catch. You can see right here, he's just going to run a quick out right there, and the quarterback's on the move. Nice job getting his foot down, and good play. We haven't called Sessions' name. It took, I mean, again, there's only 86 passing yards. It was close, though. I mean, he's really close to being out of bounds.
Stand down the wide receiver group, and they're going to stop play and take a look at this.
I think, are they reviewing the last play?
The ruling on the field is a completed pass. The previous play is under further review.
Yeah, I mean, you watch it here on the sideline. Again, Sessions came in with 20 catches for 234 yards. Young man of Missouri City, Texas. I'm excited to see this, though, because I mean, he was toe tapping, but dangerously close to the white. they might overturn this. I don't know.
The big key for me, does he scrape the turf with that
his left
foot?
toe? Yeah, because his right foot's out.
Yes,
his right foot's out of bounds. The left, does he have possession? I mean, you're right. That left toe is scraping it, no doubt.
So you'll be able to see the turf pellets come up if I believe. Ultimate zoom in.
Okay.
Well, talk about the job done. Well, I was going to hype them up earlier, but we'll hype them up now. The work from our great crew in the production truck.
Excited to see how this it's upheld or overturned.
Again, that'll be a fun game in 2 weeks. You'll be heading over to Missoula, like I said, with a lot of the crew here in Bozeman, over the divide with Grace Lawrence as well. You'll be in the booth this year with Trey Bender and Jordan Tripp calling the action. Should be a fun one, no doubt.
That's going to be fun. Tripp and I are going to go down memory lane for a few hours, I think. Coached in 15 of them, now been broadcasting them, and my man Jordan was very successful.
I can't tell if those are turf pellets or maybe the shadow coming off of his cleats.
It's really close.
Yeah.
Again, if the right foot's out of bounds, it's just did he make that catch prior to that left toe pulling up some rubber pellets? Oh, what a beautiful day, huh? We had, speaking of the ball, we actually had the big volleyball game last night, and Montana State came out hot, won the first, and then Montana.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. It's a completed pass.
Yeah, probably not enough to overturn it there, Ben. I mean, it was close.
Yeah.
But anyway, Montana, in terms of the brawl, obviously in volleyball you play twice. Cats got the first one in Missoula, and then the Grizz came over here and took it to them last night. Let's see. Big Coach Baptiste up there waving his arms, doing a heck of a job with that defensive line. I told Sean Howe, I said, yeah, you guys, the Cats finally got a dang defensive coordinator around here, and the D-line finally got a good D-line coach.
Into the flat, back to Session. Taken down at around the same spot where he caught that pass, and now he's banged up. And immediately grabbing that right ankle.
Yeah, he looks like he's in pain too.
Not what you want to see if you're Mickey Mental with already a depleted offense. They'll check on him, and Mickey Mental will check on him as well when we come back. The sun's starting to set in the Gallatin Valley with number 3 Montana State up 59-7. Marvin Session, by the way, able to walk off the field under his own power. On third down, they keep it right up the gut once again. And the Wildcats will move the chains. Another first down. Emerging from that pile, Spencer Ferguson.
Getting a lot of touches today, no question about it. Some good hard runs by him. And you just hope Sessions is okay. I mean, we've seen a couple guys go down now for Weber, and they just can't afford to lose anybody else. Part of the game, I understand that, but boy, they've just been depleted.
First and goal. Ferguson bouncing to the outside, getting to the 5-yard line. Yeah, we asked Mickey Mental earlier this week, because it is the elephant in the room, dealing with all those injuries down in Ogden, and he said, you got to find a way in this profession. There's not really many excuses. How can we get creative while being simple? And one big thing is we can't have any negative plays, and yeah, they definitely had their share of those this afternoon.
Well, and again, turnovers, man. I mean, 3. It's not going to win you a lot of football games.
Out of the pistol on second down. To throw, jump ball to the corner. Wow. And making the squeeze. What a catch. Touchdown, Mason York, with his first touchdown of the season.
Well, it was a beautifully thrown ball. I mean, because the coverage was good. I mean, we're going to see it down here to the left. This is the tight view right here, but I mean, good coverage. He just, I mean, he's all over his jersey, and mate, this is a great angle right here. Dropped a dime on Takari Carr. He's not real thrilled about it.
Point after try. Just barely sneaks through. Well, one of the positives this afternoon for the Wildcats. A beautiful dime from Dejon Jennings. Well, right now out in Missoula, 29-17 for number 2 Montana, and early on in the second quarter down in Hillsboro, Sacramento State with a 14-zip lead over Portland State, with still 3 more games to be played later today in the Big Sky, including a big one in the Kibbie Dome between Davis and Idaho.
Yeah, I'm excited to see which Davis team shows up. I didn't, that one shocked me last week.
Let's go back down on the field with Grace Lawrence.
Yes, Ben, I want to talk a little bit about this offense. You mentioned it. I talked with Adam Jones this week on the Bobcat Insider, and he said the offense doesn't think they've gotten the respect they've deserved. They're averaging over 45 points per game since conference play has started and have yet to receive an Offensive Player of the Week in the Big Sky. Jones said, though, they know what they're capable of. I mean, at the end of the day, the job's just to keep stacking wins. He even said they compete with each other over who's going to have the big game. It seems like a lot of guys are having a big game today, guys.
Well, it's kind of like what you and I talked about in the open in regards to Montana State. As they'll fake it to Jared White. They'll go to Valson. Breaks away and wrapped up short of the first down marker. Mason Hitchens brought him down. But so much of the offense was Tommy Mellott the last couple of years. But now you got tremendous playmakers with Lamson, with Jones, with Davis, and so many talented wideouts as well.
Yeah, and you're right, but I do agree with Adam. I mean, a guy like Justin Lamson has an unbelievable day. You know, I know the kid from Idaho State had a 200-yard game on the ground, the first 200-yard rushing performance by a Bengal running back in 8 years. But I agree with Adam Jones. I thought Lamson, 330 plus, 4 total touchdowns. It was an incredible day.
Career performance for Lamson. Meanwhile, Jared White just lowers that helmet. Just boom.
There's a good shot of Lamson right there. He is a fiery dude, man. He's a competitor.
I've said it all year, tough as nails. He's really embraced Bozeman after arriving from Stanford. Up the middle again, Jared White. A couple strong runs from Jared White. Again, we've said it multiple times. Maybe low on the depth chart, but he's getting considerable runs if he went to any other Big Sky program.
Well, absolutely, and you know, it's not good when your safeties and DBs are the first ones to the ball carrier on running plays. You see where I thought that front for Weber State, you know, played hard, doing a lot of good things in the first half. They're just getting worn down.
They'll show 5 here on first down. No gain there. Chevy Robinson there on the tackle for Weber State. Yeah, big one in Moscow later tonight. How does Davis respond after losing at home to Idaho State? Because Davis, they got another big one coming up 1 week from tonight here at Bobcat Stadium, taking on this Cats team.
No question, and you know, again, this conference is so funky this year. You know, I know some of these teams are improved, but you know, which Idaho's going to show, which Davis is showing. I still think Davis is a good outfit. Really excited to watch them next week. I get to be a fan next week, Ben.
And I was going to say, we don't have the game.
Oh.
You and I called this one too. What a wild one in Davis, the Big Sky Championship game. Montana State with a big lead. But the Aggies able to rally back. The two-point conversion to try to tie it, picked off by Callahan O'Reilly. Sealed it for the Bobcats.
Callahan's his older brother, Ben. That was Kate.
Thank you.
Yes,
Sorry.
sir. Yeah, I coach Cal.
Even a year later, so many players you have to memorize. And
you're right.
Well, to be fair, both those guys made big plays in their careers for Montana
did.
State. Up in the air.
I think it's going to be Weaver ball.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was looking for whether it was an incomplete, but it is a fumble.
I think so. I mean, just a free shot at Patty Ice here.
It will be Wildcat football.
Yep, you can see him right there. You know, and again, going back to what we were talking about, boy, there's two guys coming free. I mean, I know Montana State's playing the entire roster, but you know, in terms of just showing Weaver a little love here, it's nice. They're still fighting and still trying to make plays happen. And
we go split backs, swinging it out. Not much going there. Once again, going to Robert Young. Well, you talked about the volleyball match last night, Ty.
Oh,
there you go.
There's
a big night. A big night for her.
Yeah, alumni weekend. Again, they did it around the volleyball brawl. She had the digs record here at Montana State a long time. It was broken by Alyssa Rizzo a few years ago, but she looked good last night, Ben. She looks good. Makes me look good. How's that?
Jenny's getting chased, still buying time, and throws it incomplete. Yeah, you look good too. I'll give you that one.
I appreciate you.
Anything to keep your morale up.
No. Hey, buddy, you know I love an analogy. The out-kicking of coverage is a real thing, and I get that. No one ever says she out-kicked her coverage, but I can say that I probably did myself.
Third down and 13. Eight of 16 today. Play action. And the extra effort to the 40-yard line. And now Montana State says they have the football.
Really, really great hit. I know they're going to review it as to whether he was down or not. I'm excited to see the replay on this. Nice shot, though.
But now Kelton Wafer is also injured.
Right there.
Yep.
Good pop. Good pop. Let's see if we can get one more angle on this here, Ben. No, they're going to call that a fumble. I just hope, again, I just hope the young man's okay. God, Weaver is just.
Timeout on the field for an injured player of the offense.
I think that says it right there. The hands on the helmet. And they're still tending to the freshman. And you could see it on his face. He's in pain.
No question. I didn't see who the initial or the one who hit him. So many dang Bobcats rotating in and out of the game right now. Let's see from this angle here. So that's not it. Right here at the end though. That's a good shot. I just hope he's okay.
And we couldn't get a number. As Wafer, who this coaching staff raved to us earlier this week about, young, has really flashed and continues to grow in his game. We'll head to the injury tent. I mean, well, you look at that ankle right there. Also, that's probably what he's getting tended to on the sideline. It was either that ankle or that knee, because that did not bend well. Yeah.
No, and that's a lot of force. You know, when your knees in the turf and you're getting smashed going the other direction.
So the Bobcats on offense once again. And they take it down
Elms with the run up the middle.
Just about near the original line of scrimmage. And now word from the Whitefish Credit Union.
Montanans the best way to save. Whitefish Credit Union certificates are available now.
George Helms, the redshirt freshman out of Big Sky, got the carry there. And you also got Chance Wilson in at QB as well.
Young man out of Oklahoma.
Wilson, dump off, Valson with the wheels, getting to the 40. Even a couple of weeks ago, Brent Vegan very high on the tight end, bright future.
Yeah, no question. You know, we just showed that those highlights from the UC Davis game last year. Rohan Jones, who's starting in the SEC now, Ben. I mean, you talk to Vegan and the offensive guys, they love this young man. Very athletic, and the future is bright for that tight end room, man. They have got a lot of good talent in there, and they're not going anywhere.
And another Weber State player will be attended to. It looked like it was the safety Angel King. And another look at the, I know, it's just a reoccurring theme this season. You feel for those guys in Ogden.
Well, Brent Myers is the offensive line coach. We worked together forever ago at Washington and UNLV, and I'm just hoping these guys can just get on the dang buses behind the stadium and get out of here in one piece.
Doesn't get any easier to wrap up the regular season.
No.
For Weber State. They go to the ICCU Dome, take on Idaho State next week, and then they're back home against Northern Arizona.
Both talented football teams. Just figuring out how to win games, which Idaho State did last week.
George Helms again.
George Helms. We are getting through the roster, baby. Big Sky, Montana. Have you gone up to the mountain yet? I know you hit Yellowstone. Have you gone to Big Sky?
I have not yet.
Yeah, you got to see it.
That's one place I still need to go. I've been Yellowstone, been to Livingston. Really nice town. It is nice.
No, it is.
What was that?
Livingston is awesome. There's no question about it. It's windy, like it never stops. I don't feel like, but it is a great little town. We go to the rodeo on the 4th of July. That's fun. But go check out Big City.
I have to. I've heard nothing but great things about it. And the red zone comparison for both teams today, clearly in favor of the Bobcats.
Well, 6 trips, 6 touchdowns. That's beat down Saturday right there.
As we'll hit the 2-minute timeout here in the 4th quarter. A huge lead for number 3 Montana State, on their way to keeping that goose egg in the loss column in conference play. What a day for Caden Dowler, our Whitefish Credit Union player of the game. 7 tackles, an interception. Just a big piece for that Montana State defense.
Yeah, he's a heart and soul type leader. You know, you saw it last week with the interception. Another great game. He's been solid all year. You can see him there with the takeaway cowboy hat.
Chance Wilson with the Jets.
I love the way Caden plays, though, man. He's a football player.
Chance Wilson runs that out. DJ carry.
You know, it's interesting. You know, a lot of people, you know, when they were recruiting Taco, you know, like, oh, they're just getting Caden, you know, so they can get Taco. Like, hold on now, this guy's a good football player, and he has proven to be so.
But dealing with those injuries the last couple of years, you know, he's enjoying it. 2nd and 2, play fake, incomplete. Time to check in With this week's Williams Plumbing and Heating poll, the results. Again, our question this week, which ranked FCS team had the most surprising loss last week? And yeah, I think that pretty much nails it. South Dakota State falling to Indiana State at home.
That's it right there, though. I mean, at home against Indiana State. It wasn't, it wasn't a top 25 team, or shoot, that Indiana State's not even a top 50 team. They're not very good. But to your point, though, you lose the kind of player they did. They don't get him back. They could struggle. It'll be interesting to see if they can make the playoffs if they drop any more games.
Wilson will just scamper out of bounds. Of course, today's poll question sponsored by Williams Plumbing and Heating. As we wind down this one here at Bobcat Stadium. And you're just seeing in the FCS just how critical quarterbacks are, because Chase Mason, obviously out the last couple of games. You saw Idaho for a couple of weeks without their starting quarterback and Joshua Wood. You saw how they played against Eastern Washington on the Red Inferno. And they've gotten a little bit of a groove back after that wacky game in Flagstaff a week ago.
You're so right, but not just the quarterback, Ben, but depth, right? And that's where Montana State, they've got so much depth. They've recruited their butts off. Great run here.
Yeah, Chance Wilson stays on his feet. Touchdown Bobcats.
But I mean, right there, Chance Wilson. They went to Oklahoma to get this guy. He's a good player. He's the third on the depth chart right now, and we talked about it last week. Montana State's playing 20 guys on defense. So the depth is incredible. Great run here by Chance Wilson. Love to see guys, get their turns and then make great on their turns there. Touchdown Bobcats. Nice job by him.
Season high in points. Brent Vegan.
Let's see if he cracks a smile. Hold on. Wait for it. Does he smile? Come on, Coach. Come on, Coach. God. Crack a smile, Coach Biggs.
Now up to 66 points. Of course, in 2 weeks, the moment that makes legends and breaks pretenders when Montana meets Montana State. The whole Big Sky stands still. The Bobcats, the Grizzlies, pride, power, and playoff dreams collide in one of college football's fiercest rivalries. From Bozeman to Missoula, generations remember this Saturday because these aren't just games. They're battles for the soul of the state. November 22nd. Coverage starts 11 a.m. Mountain Time. The Brawl of the Wild, Montana State versus Montana, presented by Scripps Sports, your home for Big Sky football. Season high in points for Montana State with 66. And yeah, just a rough afternoon for Mickey Mental and the Wildcats.
Yes, it is. Like I said, just get on the dang buses, get out of here. And try to get some dudes healthy.
You go back to Brent Vegan, his personality. I mean, he can crack some jokes once in a while. I mean, I told him on our call earlier this week, this is my last broadcast in the booth of the season, and he said, well, we'll try to give you some explosives to go out on. And he's lived up to that word so far.
66 points.
Yeah. Another touchback. Just over 90 ticks left in this one. Again, just the job that he has done here in Bozeman, as he will go to 35-0 against unranked FCS opponents.
Yep. He's lost twice at home. One is a team from Fargo. The other is a team from Brookings. He's done an incredible job. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's got his boys playing with him now on the team, and I think he and his wife and his family love Montana, love Bozeman. You know someone's going to eventually come calling because he's just had insane amount of success.
A 3-yard run there. And meanwhile for Weber State, I mean, like you said, just getting on the bus, trying to regroup with all these injuries. And even we saw Kelton Wafer being helped off the field. I mean, I don't want to say bad luck or whatever, but you feel for Mickey Mental in that.
No question.
In that staff.
Ben, I mean, it's a tough game, right? If everybody could play football, they'd call it soccer. All right, injuries are going to happen, but just the wave of injuries, the amount of injuries, it's insane. It's insane, and it is really, really bad luck.
Spencer Ferguson again getting the ball.
And he's 3 years into 3 years in now as the head coach, and I don't know. They got to get some dudes healthy for sure.
We'll look to bounce back next week again in Pocatello. Meanwhile, Montana State will gear up for what is right now a top 10 showdown when they welcome in UC Davis on what will be, no doubt, a very, very cold Saturday night a week from tonight.
Yes, it will. Assuming you're going to tune into that game?
I definitely will. Well, because we also have Montana at Portland State next week, I will also go check that game out as well, living just obviously a couple blocks away from the stadium where that game will be played.
Are you going to go watch some of that game?
I will.
Oh, that'd be great.
I will go watch a little bit of that one. But meanwhile, here in Bozeman, a 66-14 win for number 3 Montana State. As the Bobcats will go to 8-2 overall. Weber State, meanwhile, drops to 3-7 in the 2025 campaign. Again, with 66 points. Down to Grace Lawrence.
Yeah, hi guys. There was a lot of career firsts this game. After 6 years, the first career touchdown. What was that moment like, Ryan?
I was absolutely ecstatic. Just getting in the box for the first one. It was amazing to feel that, and then the team supporting me all the way through it. I loved it.
And then over to here, take me through that play when you scored that touchdown. Pretty crazy.
Man, I was trying to get on my landmark, and then I saw the ball go to Vontae, and I saw the ball pop up. I was close to make a play, and I just made the play, and all glory to God for letting me make that play.
Yeah, back over here. Do you feel like your offense is a little underrated?
Oh, absolutely. We read all the comments, all the blogs, and just hear how they're saying everything about our defense, which our defense is, I think a lot better than last year even, but I feel like our offense, keeps us in the game as well. 65 points, 66 points,
It's got to be up there for points in this stadium. I mean, you guys have 2 big games coming up. How do you want to build on this to end the regular season?
We just want to go 1-0 every day. We live by that motto every single day since we've been here. And, going 1-0 every day is going to be the model for going forward. It's going to help us out win our games. So just looking forward to the next one. Take it week by week.
Thank you, guys. Congrats on the win.
Appreciate it, Grace. An offensive explosion with 66 points as the Bobcats win it 66-14. For many of you, we will take you to bonus coverage of Eastern Washington at Montana, which has now turned into a tight 5-point game. Viewers in Bozeman, Butte, Billings, Great Falls, and Helena, you can catch that game on the Spot MTN along with post-game coverage of our game here in Bozeman. As that will wrap it up here in Bozeman. For Ty Grigorak, Grace Lawrence, and the rest of our always terrific crew, I'm Ben Creighton. So long from Bobcat Stadium. Now let's send it to Missoula with Trey Bender, Jordan Tripp, and Kyle Hansen.
It doesn't in any way tarnish this